Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. So like he's just trying to run as far away as possible. Yeah, the play might be alt F4 as soon as possible, then lock back in. But look at his health. Look at the health. He's typing test to try to test it as well. Slowly just dying, panic clicking the healing potion. Oh! Bro. There's no way. That is so lucky. That's just... He's a little druid with healing pots up and everything like that. What's up, Bodrakon? Welcome to the React section. Team! Your dog! He's not even looking at the screen! Welcome to the React section. Oh, he's just spaced out. He's looking at chat. He's a... Yeah. He's not even looking at the screen! Really much to say. Listen, boys. There is a secret way you can kill Vagash. There is multiple ways you can kill this guy, okay? You see this little fence over here, guys? This fence can be used in combination with a thrown weapon, any range stuff, or anything in general. Just wait, okay? Okay, so this is the fence you can use to kite. You see the fence where he's jumping over right now? The boar actually ran the other way, which is a perfect indication of what you should do, right? Do I hear Savix? Guy actually did a really smart thing. So what he did was he pulled a bunch of rage on the boar before he went on the boss. He's starting a stopwatch. Okay, okay. Wait, he's talking about me. He's raiding me? Wait. We're just listening to Savage talk. Little check, go through, then use your healing potion, because healing potion... I'm trying to listen to what Savix is saying as well. I'm sorry. It's very quiet. Okay, there it is, dude. I mean, he got it, right? Unless he gets... Bro, if you didn't range that, brother man Bill, you would have died. Ooh, this... I do think this pack, like, they pulled all together, right? Yeah, I mean, he's a rogue, he has Blade Flurry, he has Riposte, he has potions, but then Vanish Off. Depending ability, guys, it's very scary. Clicking his Garrote. Killing off the small guys first would be really smart, but I guess they're dying from the Blade Flurry. Popping... My man, you need to go closer to the other Kodo for the Blade Flurry to hit it. Okay, so one more... Sorry, I have to add a few more things, guys. Whenever you're playing a rogue, Blade Flurry is a very special ability where it cleaves, right? So what play... It's you... Sure you... It's not using all his combo points, man. That's the charge right there, guys. You saw it? It's a little sprint. Oh! What a gouge. Steady, what a gouge. If you didn't hit that gouge, you would have died. Ooh, so what you can do, guys, as a rogue is gouge kite. Whenever you're kiting him up, you what is that? You can gouge him up and it doesn't attack you if you're fast enough with hitting the gouge. Thank you for the prime, by the way, Bislos. Bislon. Okay, so now he's actually gouge kiting with the throne. This is exactly why you want to use throne. Look how fast it is.
Kissing all by yourself, handsome?
Cakes, thank you for the gift as well. Thank you. Yeah, so this is just what... Oh, he ran out of throne though. My man ran out. Oh. Is the little Tauren trying to help? I think he's trying to help him. I'm not sure. No, he's just running with him. You can still gouge. Like, he could potentially just do this forever. You run up to the mob, gouge it, run away, run up to the mob, gouge it. You will kill it eventually. It will die. It's just gonna take forever. This is why Kidney Shot is really good. Because then you can like... Because gouge does build up combo points, right? So you can eventually run in on Kidney Shot. And then like do a bunch of damage. So that the band just goes off here, and Pontus goes down. What a gamer. Few mistakes were made, but he pulled through, and he still killed it. So that's commendable. You gotta realize as well, guys, in hardcore, sometimes it's hard to play perfect because you panic. There's a lot of the line, like your heart is like.
After the Super Bowl, the Power
my
Rankings
God.
podcast, which you can check out.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
And we did discuss at length, 48 hours later, post-mortem, where you felt. And I think I asked you, although I don't remember, because a lot of things happened since then, where that stacks in terms of the worst losses of your fan life.
Oh, right.
Is that number one? Was that the toughest, as a
For
sports
me-
fan, toughest loss?
For me personally, yes. Especially being there live, watching it, and to have the tide turn how it did. And for everything to be going in one direction so positively and with so much momentum, and then for all of it to come falling back down.
Maybe the best Eagles team ever, just like the pure the
Making
team.
a
And
special
Yeah.
purchase?
finish it. So that I think that makes sense. I don't even know what would be.
The roster was great.
Phillies
They were
had some tough
healthy.
losses.
Everything was going.
Big
What?
lead at halftime.
Right.
Mahomes limping to the locker room.
Pleased to
Yep.
meet you.
Yep.
By the way, NFL Films did come through. Talked about this on the Sunday night show. His NFL Films moment, the slow motion run on that scramble to get
Yep.
it to field goal range. Great job with the music and everything. The Sable Gang always comes through. That was obviously anticlimactic, the ending, as we talked about. But
I know.
the game itself was tremendous. And to your credit, you texted in the middle of that madness. I think you were down 35-27 at that point, and said, "This is like the best game ever," or something along those
It is. It
Yeah.
still was one
I
of
would
the
have been
greatest.
throwing up in my mouth if it was the Jets. I wouldn't be texting
I was
anyone.
trying to just like keep it together at that point, and I was like,
Seeing you.
when things are falling apart, I text you guys usually. So that's what was happening.
Have you found yourself avoiding like the NFL film stuff?
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
Of course.
You know what I found on
Don't sniff it.
Monday? I'm not an Eagles fan, but I have been rooting for them off and on this podcast quite a bit,
No.
and in general over the last 6 or 7 years. I have a friend that works there and everything, and the next day, the day of, you're always just enjoying the game. It's fun for us to cover the Super Bowl. It's great to be there. I still love like Patrick Mahomes, and like it's all there. And then the next morning, I was like, I felt like they were not my team, but I was disappointed. I didn't want to see any of it.
The
It was
airport was
bothering
tough
me.
when I
It
saw
was
all
bothering me
like the champion
following
shirts
days.
with the Chiefs gear. That
Also,
was.
I feel
that
your
was tough.
pain.
Greg, you're into managing your brand, and that you could have had the
That too.
Eagles over Chiefs Super Bowl prediction. You could have had it. It was all there for both you guys.
It was.
And I was just someone just watching it all, soaking it in. I
Must
have
be
to say,
nice for you.
Oh, it's great for me to be an NFL fan. Yeah, I will say, like, my whole stance going into the game with Patrick Mahomes, who's not a jet killer, he's just this great quarterback who's in a faraway division, and I enjoy his career more. It's no Tom Brady situation for me. Like, it's fun rooting for greatness. It's kind of how like I always rooted for LeBron all through his career, especially with those against the mega teams like the Warriors team. And that was my favorite, like personal favorite team game ever was Game 7 of the 16 Finals, where LeBron had the iconic block, and it was just like, here's this dude, an all-time great, perhaps the greatest, and if he's not the greatest, he's in the top 5, taking on the superior outfit and willing his team to victory. Kind of some of those vibes here with Mahomes beating the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because I think the Eagles were a better team, but Mahomes is they did great stuff.
No, so the Chiefs won. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl, everyone. And here we are. All right, let's get this episode going.
And that's another episode of the Around the NFL podcast. Thank you, Colleen, for joining us.
We can contain multitudes. We can appreciate it.
I know.
How was your week? You went to Big Bear.
Went to Big Bear this weekend with my Throwback podcast partner, Bob.
Oh, wow.
The families.
As he walked into the
Would have been
studio
weird if it
today,
was just you and Bob.
he said it was
would be.
good. It was big for the bear.
Big Bear was big for the bear, the old Zeuser. I posted a photo in the mountains. I got a lot of pop on the gram. So I'm
That's a
feeling,
Dan Hansis
wow.
shout
feeling
out.
good about myself right now. And
Was that you with like a Bud Light or something?
It was a Modelo.
Okay.
Which our overseas listeners are like, "Got yourself a real beer, mate." It's like, all right, calm down. I don't really like beer, but I had one and enjoyed it. Like those lagers, those Mexican lagers. But the kids were sledding, and building big fires in the nice house
I
that we
love
all got
that.
together, and spending good times.
This is a great model shot. This is it right here.
Oh my God. It's definitely in portrait mode.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking off to the side in the distance.
John
It's good. The
Denver's
hair's
playing.
curly. I like it
Yeah.
when you let it get curly.
My
That's
partner, my personal partner, Bob, took that photo as well. In the woods together. It's like the third episode of
Before we get to the football, I did want to mention I was at dinner, and I did text you guys about this, but for the listeners, I was at dinner on Sunday night. Great dinner. At the end of the dinner, and it had great service the whole time. Mien it was in West Adams. Amazing food.
What kind of food is that?
You're my food. I'm gonna eat you. Chinese, but like spicy beef noodle soup and like crazy spicy hot and sour soup and amazing dumplings. There's a few all over. The original's in San Diego.
People don't know, Greg's a big foodie.
Especially
Yeah.
big
His
spicy.
wife's a chef.
Yes.
Tired chef, but still in her bones.
Yes. And at the end of the meal, he said, "I just want to let you know, I'm a big fan of the show."
After the meal.
Wow.
After the meal, right as we're leaving, after we pay for the check, I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm sorry what happened to Wes. I was a really big fan of
nice.
Chris. I grew up near Tybee,
No
he
way.
or either had lived near Tybee or he had grown up near Tybee, and he said that, and it was Chris's birthday, and it just felt like I don't know. I immediately texted these two afterwards, just like it felt like it was like saying hello on his birthday to me.
There you
'Cause
go.
nothing
I
like
love
that had ever
that.
happened on any meal or any day, and for that to happen on Chris's birthday.
That was.
And the same, yeah. And we were texting with Lakeisha. She had some like personal news, like really good news for herself and her family that came out on the same weekend. Happy birthday, Christopher Wesley. So that's good.
And
Though.
Greg.
That's nice though. And Greg. Oh, it was your birthday too?
We share a birthday, yeah. That's right. And we share it with Roger Goodell too. So
All right.
happy birthday.
You are 44.
Good work. Congratulations.
Getting up there. Getting up there. I'm 42, so now 2 years difference between us.
Until your birthday in like 4 months. What is it?
So I can't get over you. April 23rd.
2 months. It's mid to late off season.
Yeah. My birthday has many times
Yeah.
fallen on night one of the draft,
Oh,
or
that's right.
or in the old days, it's your birthday, get on the plane and fly across the country for the draft.
I can't imagine how awful that is. January 2nd is a great day to have a birthday.
Oh, that'd be.
My
That'd
mom's
be.
birthday was up. Yeah, we occasionally, I think it only happened once or twice, but have a birthday together, Wes and I, at the combine. I remember doing
Oh,
shots
fun.
with Wes at our first combine together.
I think that we have
just
a
joined
photo of that.
Just joined the company.
Because you guys were not, you were bedfellows in many ways, like Bob and I. But you weren't, like Wes was kind of like a power drinker and he would party. That is not you. But the fact that you had a shot.
That means Greg is
Oh,
down.
we had a bunch that night.
Yeah.
That was
Gotta get Greg. Just one night this off season, Connie. Let's get him.
I've seen him very close. That's fine.
Inventory
Yes.
is full.
Challenge
All right,
accepted.
I'm
I love
in.
that.
I'm in.
Let's pick a day
Okay.
and do it. All right, let's get into. We gotta
Should we
get.
do a podcast?
Yeah, let's do a
No.
podcast.
Stop.
We're just
You
catching
know, this
up.
is the podcast right here. No, it literally is. So we're going to get through all the news that's happened in the past week plus. I do want to, as a way to get into things, a reintroduction. Hi, hello, how are you? I want you guys to share with me what is like the big off-season story before we hit the news that my name is Dan. I'm a Taurus.
Okay, let's hear your story.
Yeah.
My off-season story that I'm most interested in, non-Jets related, but kind of related, Lamar Jackson. I want to say that the reason I say it is because I feel like we got a little bit wrong. The last like big quote-unquote update on Lamar when Harbaugh came out in the presser and
You need something?
DaCosta, and they said the 200% chance he's back. And on this show, we were like, oh, well, that's, it sounds like that thing's settled down. Everything's going to be fine there. They'll
See you
figure out
later.
something.
Good day to
And then
you.
to the point when we had Bridget on the show,
Yeah.
which is
I don't really wanna
increasingly
talk about that, yeah.
looking like maybe a bad decision, not the right choice. Nobody even brought up the Lamar situation as something that we
That was
should
good
look in and get a projection on. Because again, I think
That's right.
this podcast was kind of like, oh, the Ravens are going to get it done. Some more of the news you're hearing that's trickling out, and it sounds like this is very much still open to Lamar ending up somewhere else. Peter King was on Eisen's show last week, and King's plugged in. He was throwing out what can happen, including Greggy, the possibility that the Ravens give Lamar the tag, but not the exclusive tag, and then allow him to negotiate with another team who could then set the terms of the negotiation. And if the Ravens choose not to match, they get 2 first-round picks. And I'm thinking to myself, the Ravens didn't even go that far to let him go talk to other teams. Things could get dicey.
Yeah, our colleague, the Pell Raiser, Tom Pelissero, had a similar-ish report, basically saying on Super Bowl Sunday there's a bunch of different ways they could attack it, that they're expected to place the franchise tag. But I tend to think when these reports come out that there's some information from the team coming, and it does feel like they're at least willing to entertain what could happen. Now, if I was them, I would place the exclusive tag.
Yeah.
And you can still figure out trade potentially if you are open to it.
I think it would be crazy.
2
to not
first-round
do
picks
that.
doesn't feel like enough. You know what I mean?
No, but okay. So what would be? Probably wouldn't be a 3 first-round pick thing. But
Why not?
What was the Russell Wilson
Why not?
pick? I feel like that would be someone. Obviously, it looks silly now with how Wilson played.
Right.
But I think that was 2 firsts, I think maybe a second.
2 2s,
Yep.
a 5th,
Right.
and they also got
And there were
4th
players
back.
involved. Right?
And Noah Fant,
Drew Lock, Shelby Harris.
Shelby
It was a
Harris.
first and a second in 2 drafts.
Maybe something considering what the money, the guarantee, the contract. That seems somewhat close. Then, if it's a 2 first-round pick, then the Ravens don't have to be involved with the negotiation. They could know for sure, like what he's asking, that there's teams willing to go that far in terms of the guaranteed money. We're told reportedly it's
they gotta-
$100 million apart right now.
they
in
gotta
guaranteed
know.
money.
Wow.
Well, that makes sense to me. So there's been reports that they were offering 130 guaranteed.
And how much did Deshaun Watson get guaranteed? I think it was 230. There it is.
He wants a fully guaranteed contract.
So
Because
the sausage
because
gets
why wouldn't you?
Right.
right.
Because here's the Ravens
hope.
don't need to find out if a team is willing to. There are multiple teams willing to.
And he's still negotiating his own stuff, right?
I have no question. Well, his mom
Right.
and they do have a lawyer, but it's essentially.
Yeah.
And Mark is not in obviously today, but it would perhaps bring him some comfort to realize that, and we heard this from people, like Steve Weiss told us about this, that after the Watson-Browns contract was done, which was unprecedented in terms of the guaranteed money, it was fully guaranteed, owners are not happy across the league. It's like that's going to set a precedent. Guess what? The Ravens or the Browns are kind of sticking it to the Ravens now because they're getting their feet held to the fire by what the Browns did with that Watson guy. So there you go. Everything's even now. Even Steven.
How about that?
I mean, they're still stuck with Deshaun Watson and need to make that work.
Well, that's a
Yikes.
whole separate thing.
But yes,
Good luck with
if I'm
that.
Lamar and Kyler Murray's guaranteed money is what? What was he at? 160?
Right,
Yeah, he's at
yeah.
160, and the Ravens are offering 130. I totally am with him playing this thing out because the reality is there are multiple teams I think that would just give him a fully guaranteed contract because that's what it would take to get him.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get anywhere in this league if you don't have a quarterback, and they have one right now, so keep him.
But yeah,
Your,
Make it work.
Jets being one of them, maybe.
they could be one of them. How about you, Greggy? What is?
Okay, I got a little more specific. So I'm starting to do the top 101 list.
Who are you, by
It's
the way?
due.
Reintroduce yourself
I'm
to the
Greg
audience.
Rosenthal.
Right.
I was born on February 19th, 1979. That makes me and Chris and Raj a Pisces. But we're like a cusp.
Also
so,
a Gen X, whereas I am a geriatric millennial, the 1980 baby.
but we're like, I'm with you. I think Gen X fits better, but we're also like, we don't really fit the Gen X thing totally either.
Right.
We're a little too young for that.
Tough. Bubble babies.
But we're
Gen
Pisces.
X is
yeah.
just like a lost generation.
What's before Pisces? Because we're like cusp babies, where we sort of have that cool, laid-back dreamer vibe. But since we're like right on the cusp, we've also got that get
Capricorn?
stuff done vibe. So
it's all
great.
Hokuman.
No, I kind of believe in that more than anything else.
Yes, Justin.
Also a Pisces. Just wanted to.
Who?
Me. I wanted
wonder.
to join the party.
Oh.
No wonder.
Did we miss your birthday
Pisces
too?
just
No,
vibe.
my birthday
You know, we're
is
good vibes.
coming up.
Oh,
March 7th.
okay.
Forget it, though. I don't need any.
He doesn't want any gifts.
I don't need any attention or anything on my birthday. I'll just be quiet. And that's fine.
Thank you, Justin.
I don't know what's happening.
You're going to get plenty of attention on that birthday.
Aquarius is before it. And my off-season
Oh, good.
storyline.
I was wondering.
I mean, if you go out of your way to break into the podcast to say, hey, heads up,
And did
I'm
you-
also a Pisces, and here is my birthday.
No, I just wanted to
Yeah.
like join the Pisces party. It
Right,
felt
right,
like
right,
a fun party.
Aw.
It is fun.
I don't know. Now we got a plan of
What
action
do
for
you, what do
Graver.
you believe in,
I'm
or what are
Greg.
you talking about?
I'm Greg.
Exactly.
I'm a Pisces, and I'm working on the top 101 due first draft tomorrow.
Put that on the dating profile right at the top.
Yeah. And I'm interested in how Colleen's Philadelphia Eagles are going to do this offseason. Because I think this is one of the best front offices in the league. Howie Rosen is amazing. They also
right.
have assistant general manager Alec Hallaby, who's been there and been spearheading their analytics department and getting like a new promotion each and every year, and is kind of their secret sauce, I feel like, there, who's been there a long time. And I look at them and I feel like they're the most interesting team in the entire offseason because you have that Jalen Hurts contract sitting out there, but you also have a million free agents. I'm doing this 101 list, and
I
it's like,
know.
oh, okay, here's an Eagle. Oh, here's another Eagle. Here's another Eagle. It's mostly on defense, where you have
Hargrave.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You have James Bradbury, who's more famous than he was
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, but was
TJ
a really good
Edwards.
pickup. Marcus Epps, who's a starter. Javon Hargrave, who's my number 3 overall free agent. You have the guys that you identify with the Eagles more than anyone, Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. Oh, by the way, you have your 2 starting linebackers, Kaiser White and TJ Edwards, who I think they can replace, but they both played well. And you think, okay, you're basically restarting on defense. But you still have Isaac Seumalo, who's a starting guard. You have Miles Sanders, like Minshew's their backup quarterback. It's just everywhere. And normally you'd panic a little bit.
I'm feeling.
What can I do?
You're triggering comments.
Okay, here's the reason why.
Not in my throat. I feel like someone's sitting on my
See you
chest.
around.
Here's the reason why I'm so excited. They are not a like, oh, woe is me, all this stuff is happening to us. They are going to be aggressive. I think they could make a lot of trades. They are going to restructure.
Have a good one.
I think they are a team when you look at them and think like, oh, all this is happening. How much can they even hold on to? They'll actually be among the most aggressive teams in trading and picking up new free agents just because that's who they are, even with the Jalen Hurts contract out there. So I think defensively, they could be as aggressive as any team out there. We thought that they were in trouble last offseason, like in terms of like, oh, they've got a lot to do. And look at all they added, including Hassan Reddick, including Gardner-Johnson, Bradbury. And I just think they're going to be major players over the next few weeks. And I'm fascinated because I think they make so many good moves.
I feel like I didn't hear a whole lot of
Oh,
the last
come on.
part that you said because I'm just
I'm not
going through
worried.
the names.
Their
All of
offense
the
is
free agents.
basically set, and even losing all those guys on defense, they still have a lot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I think Howie, mother effer, deserves the benefit of the doubt at this point to know the best way to play this. I think. Did you see the way that quarterback played?
I know. He should get paid. He should
And then
get
that
paid.
changes the salary structure again. So there is a
I know.
window.
That's what hurts.
There's
though.
a window.
That's what
We're
hurt me.
still
more.
good.
It hurt me
What?
more after like seeing him grow, for him to have one of the best performances in a Super Bowl I've ever seen. And someone responded like, this has to be right there with Brady against the Eagles and Warner against the Steelers as like the best performances ever by a quarterback. Yes, that's true. But I also think it's just one of the best performances by a quarterback. I did rewatch just the Eagles' offense of the coach's film, and just because I wanted to see how he did, and like that was the best game of his
great.
life. It was the best game of his life.
You can't take out the game from 6 games.
Right, which is probably.
I'm saying he played beautifully. I'm just saying, if you want to start talking about best game ever,
which was
turnover
turnover.
produced a huge touchdown.
Probably why it's like not the best performance by a quarterback ever, and it's just right there with Brady and Warner, and they didn't have that huge negative plays, but he also had, I think PFF had him as 5 or 6 big-time throws in that game, by far a career high. Like among, I think it was right there behind 1 or 2 games by any quarterback all year, of the most of any quarterback in any game. And oh, by the way, he also rushed for 3 touchdowns and ran for 94 yards. So yes, there is that negative, but it's like
Dagger.
it was a crazy
Burning.
performance.
Two
It was
things.
I really think it was the best game he's ever played in
He
his
was
life.
awesome in the game. That turnover, maybe you can't really do that, but maybe that's the reason they
But it's
lost.
also bad luck too. Like it was totally on him that he dropped it, but he happened to kick it
right
backwards,
yeah,
and then they
bad
pick it
luck.
up and run back.
2 earmuffs, Connie. I think if they don't throw the flag on 3rd down for home runs, I think they go down the field and score just because I think Hurts was completely locked in at that point.
You've lost me.
All right, just let's try to move past it. But I think Greg's overall
All right.
conceit is trust the organization to reevaluate.
Trust the process?
Trust the process.
Okay. All right. I'm back. Okay, guys. Hello. My name is Colleen Wolf, but I mostly identify as Connie Fox.
Right.
Also,
And
Tiny
sometimes,
Box.
yeah.
And you know what I remember today? Icebox was my nickname in college, and I totally forgot about that.
Why?
Icebox was an icebox.
In Little
'cause you
Giants.
were
Little
a
Giant.
figure
Yeah.
skater?
I don't know why they called me Icebox, but
She was like a burly linebacker type.
that was me in
Wait, it
college.
wasn't because you were a
Berlin
figure skater?
linebacker. Maybe it was because I was a figure skater.
Okay.
That
Little
makes more
Icebox.
sense.
That would make
Yeah, I
unless
hadn't
you
seen
were
the
like
movie at the time when they, so
That must have been
I
eye-opening.
wouldn't connect. But
You
Unless
saw the
just,
movie,
like,
you're like,
shut down.
hey.
yeah, it's like, oh, that's me, cool. So I think the robots have already taken over. So that obviously is the only way that you could explain the dogfight.
Right.
Must have been a robot.
It's been a big couple weeks.
Holy shit, that
Yeah, it's
was.
popping right now.
Yeah. And the off-season storyline I'm most interested in is I have a bunch here because I couldn't. There's so many that it was hard to even pick with all the different quarterbacks moving around. And Peyton now with the Broncos, how he makes over that whole place. I'm interested in the Niners quarterback situation with Brock Purdy and the Lance. But I think the thing I'm most intrigued in is Hard Knocks 2023.
What?
Who will it be? Who will it be? Because
Wow.
you know,
The most.
there's only 4 teams that can do it.
Right. Well, other teams can volunteer, but you're right. What are the 4 teams?
The 4 teams. Now, first of all, the teams need to have not made the postseason in 2 straight seasons. They need to have the same head coach for at least 2 years, and they need to have not been featured on Hard Knocks in over a decade.
I wrote that boilerplate 47 times on our website.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you should know that
Yeah.
by heart.
Yep.
The teams are the Bears, the Saints, the Commanders, and the Jets.
Yeah. If the Jets ended up with one of these big quarterbacks, I could see Woody being on a power trip and just being like, put
Let's
us on
do
that
it.
show too.
Let's
Like,
go.
Let's just win the offseason.
You did before when they were hot.
Yep.
When Rex was there.
We'll get to Rex later.
So,
That's late March. Like yeah, it's like hey, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson,
yep.
Derek Carr.
That announcement's coming up soonish, I believe.
I just checked. It happened in late March last year, but that was I think a late.
Yeah, I was thinking more in terms of just like this
Yeah.
month.
I don't need
This
the
calendar?
Commanders, the Saints.
No.
What's
I
the
really
other?
don't.
Bears.
I want the Jets. That's for me.
I would watch that. That's your thing you're looking for most of this entire offseason.
I also, like, this is more of a, like, sentimental one, but D'Angelo Hall being named the new DB coach in
How about
Carolina is, like, something that I am so freaking excited about. I'm so happy for him. Like, I almost started crying because I'm upset that like, we're losing him. And
You
he
worked
was,
with him.
I worked with him on the Saturday morning show we had with his Good Morning Football weekend.
Great.
And that show with Michael Robinson and Mike Garafolo was so much fun. We were a little family, just like ATN is
Like
a little family.
She had a lot of fun on that show. She talks about
I love all of my kids equally, all right? All of my children.
We
the
were
answer
first.
we're looking for. Okay.
But he has been, since the moment I met D'Angelo, he's been talking about how he wanted to get into coaching, or he wanted to get into a front office, and that was his dream, and he's going to chase it, and he finally got the opportunity, and it's so well deserved, and he's such a good guy, and I just can't wait to see him shine.
I see that makes a lot of sense. I would have thought that his dream like crack jokes behind him as we watched like a boring Sunday night football games in the film room, and he was ready to do that show with Chris Rose.
Yeah, I was always looking like Break the Ice with the Angelo Dern. I just would have known. I never connected the dots on the Good Morning Football weekend.
Oh my God!
Like just would have name dropped
I mean,
Connie Fox. It would have been.
That would have been it.
We would have been like thick as thieves.
That's your team.
In the back row.
Yep. Like I feel like he's
best of luck.
like my brother. Yeah.
Seems like a nice guy. Greg was just trying to bring like a Kayvon thing.
We sat next to each other at the Talent Summit, so we had a lot of great.
That is a big
lot of
bonding
great
experience.
convos.
Oh, that's huge. I've sat next to Jeremiah twice,
That's a
and it
good
had
one.
the opposite effect.
Oh no.
So it goes either way.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
All right, let's take a break, and then we'll get caught up on the news. All right, welcome back. Let's do some news.
What's up? Hey! What's up, man? How you doing? Good. Good. Shots. Explosives.
I feel like we're post, especially after your friend Nick Sirianni, Connie, we're post won the press conference and trying to make snap judgments on coaches, so I'm not going to do that. That was Jonathan Gannon, former DC of the Eagles, who's now the head coach of the Cardinals, and that was his first face-to-face meeting captured on social media. Who was it with?
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore. And what exactly was going on there for the audience that's just hearing the audio, which is bonkers?
He just walked up to Rondale and they like sort of dapped, and it was an awkward like, white dap, obviously.
We do our
mistaken.
best, but it doesn't always.
It's tough. It's tough. And then all of a sudden he.
Dan speaks.
So
whites
for the
after
whites.
after they do their like little hug and whatnot, then he looks Rondale up and down and then pauses because there's just like an awkward silence, and then he just starts going shots, woo, over here, and just like moving
Like with exaggerated hand movements and everything.
Yeah, like all of the different things that Rondale could do, I guess. I'm guessing.
Like in patterns and running. Okay.
But like there was no context to it, and he didn't even say that. I don't know, maybe he did after the clip ended that we saw, but it was the most awkward interaction I've
Rondale's
ever
kind of
seen.
looking at him like he had an elbow growing out of his forehead.
Like, what a first impression.
Well, there was that, and there was also a video of like he finds out that Kyler Murray is back in the weight room when he's just about leaving for the airport, and Gannon just starts running. He's in there, and then the camera follows him, and people thought this was fake, but I really don't think so. And he gets up to Kyler, and he just starts clapping as much as he can, and like is all fired up. And I watched the press conference, and he's got a lot of energy. That Jonathan Gannon. That's my takeaway.
And
a lot of energy.
Wow.
I'll take it. I like
and
it.
we're learning,
People
we're learning.
loved it, actually. I don't think he lost this one. I think
Sure,
the
okay.
Cardinals fans were kind of like, sweet. It's not like a vaguely depressed
Robotic.
Kingsbury.
Shots,
No
shots,
offense to
shots.
Cliff, but he always gave off like kind of a low energy affect.
And that's a very standard hiring cycle. You get a guy that's totally different. Gannon is different. I mean, he did catch some criticism in Philly, Connie. We talked about that on the show. But at the end of the day, he takes over as head
It was
coach.
a rough final game.
It was.
Oh my gosh. And he took a pay cut, too,
Very
to
similar.
take the job there.
Reminds me a lot
Romeo.
of I was going to say
Oh, Patricia, that's what I was thinking.
who got blasted by the Eagles.
Right.
In
How'd
the
that work
Super
out?
Bowl, and then on his way to taking that Lions job.
So is that a
I don't
voting?
think that's a bad. I don't think it matters, but it's not.
I
a
think
good sign.
Gannon, it's a tricky job, and you take a chair of 32 when you can get it. But this year seems like it's gonna be a very rough year for Arizona, with Murray probably out at least until the midpoint of the season, and maybe longer than that. Hopefully, the Cardinals play this way and get the organization set up before Tyler comes back in full the season after.
Right.
But who knows? I don't know. It's hard to say what's going on with the Cardinals. I know they've made some big changes now in the front office, and obviously now getting Kingsbury out of the building as well. Do I totally trust that organization to get it right? I can't.
No.
Has been lost.
They always do these articles like, which is the best job of worst job. And I never liked that because it's impossible to figure out, and they're all good jobs. But I think the Cardinals is the hardest job. I think he'll have some rope because I think their roster is a bigger mess than the other 4 jobs that are available. Everything's wrong with that roster, almost like offensive line. The defense is a total disaster. Murray's hurt. Like, there's not much to build around. And
J.J. Watt's gone.
he hired
Eagles linebacker.
he hired Nick Rallis, who's 29 years old, as his defensive coordinator. That's cool. He's a defensive coach anyway, so I'm less focused on that. The Browns quarterbacks coach, Drew Pietzing, is their new offensive coordinator. And he was a guy that, like, had some good buzz around the league as just, like, a smart young mind. So he might turn out to be a great coach, but he's a 35-year-old, and that's a huge hire because of the injury.
In other news, the Colts finally completed their head coaching search, and Shane Steichen, Eagles offensive coordinator. So obviously, like Fred was saying about the Eagles, it's a big offseason. Both their coordinators. He takes over as the new head coach. Makes sense. He replaced Jeff Saturday, who was the interim coach. This was a team that ranked 30th in points per game, 27th in offensive yards per game. Quarterback position was a god-awful mess. Jonathan Taylor was hurt all year, and now Steichen is asked to make things all better. Here's a little bit of Steichen's opening press conference remarks.
Thank you to Nick Sirianni. I appreciate everything you've done as a head football coach. It was a pleasure to work with you again these past 2 seasons. It was a hell of a ride, and one I'll cherish forever. But more importantly, the friendship that we built over the last 9 years. Thank you. Thank you to the players I've had the privilege to be around and coach. Thank you to Philip Rivers. I can't say enough about how much you've had impact on me as a coach. So many great memories together, and couldn't be more thankful for our friendship. Thank you to Antonio Gates, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, and most recently, thank you to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Wes Watkins, Zach Pascal, Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll, Grant Calcaterra, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Suamala, Lane Johnson, Ian Book, Gardner Minshew,
better be on this
and last
list.
but not least, Jalen Hurts.
Did he go all
Thank you
53?
to each and every single one of you guys.
If you're not on that
Seems like
list,
I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for you. It's all about the players, and it'll always be about the players.
The snips were covering up the other players that he didn't answer.
so
They're
I mean,
saying.
I think saying Gardner Minshew is the reason why he's there is not true. So I think that this man is. There you go.
Now, I
He
think
was emotional, Dan. Leave him alone.
I think leaving Quez out would have been fine.
You guys are brutal.
I would have just named.
I'm angry.
They had what, like 11 Pro Bowlers? Like, just name the Pro Bowlers.
Oh, well, he was naming the offensive guys. Yeah, you saw a lot. You know who it reminded me of a little bit was Jamal Williams, in the sense that, like, he was incredibly emotional, and I like that. And if you continue to watch the press conference, he sort of pivoted to like a really hard driving, smoldering Cesslarian intensity, like behind the eyes, just like a lot of intensity. So it went from like love, which I like that, but also the intensity of a football.
So did he win the press conference?
I liked it.
I like, there's so many parallels to Frank Reich with this hiring too. I mean, the Colts hire another Eagles offensive coordinator coming off a Super Bowl appearance, someone who has a rep for developing quarterbacks, and Steichen comes from working under Nick Sirianni, who came originally from the Colts. So it's all so very kind of incestuous, but he'll be calling the plays for what quarterback? Who knows yet? That's obviously a
Maybe
big
Phillip
question
Rivers.
that needs to be answered.
It's funny, he brought up Phil Rivers, and I was like, oh, we got to get Phil back in the mix. I don't, maybe not a player at this point, but
Irsay said Phil had a lot of input. He used the word lot of
Really?
input into the hiring just because he was like, this guy, as much as any coach I've ever been with, is a genius in terms of he doesn't need to play sheet of cards. Look at what's happening on the field, and then call, like, for Phil Rivers to say that, Jim Irsay said held a lot of weight, just like that this guy really understands the quarterback position as much as anyone I've ever
just
been
got to get
around.
like 16 kids out of elementary school.
That's
and
it.
maybe he'll come back.
Easy.
We'll see him on the sideline with a polo tie. All right, we're talking about the Super Bowl this year. Last year's Super Bowl, of course, the Rams were the champions, and a lot of bad things have happened since then. Jalen Ramsey is one of their many high-priced superstar players. On Twitter, he floated the idea and quickly deleted it that he could be traded. He won't be cut. Now, traded, I can't say. And then Kevin Demoff, our buddy, COO of the Rams, spoke on Ramsey and his future.
Jalen's been a huge piece of what we've done. And I think for all of our players, it's going to be about figuring out what's best moving forward. But when you are a team like the Rams who's had success, we have a lot of great players. People are always inquiring about our talent. And it's not just Jalen. We get calls on all of our good players.
That brings to mind the famous Jamal Adams wanted out of New York because the phone was picked up and someone called. The high-ranking phone official saying, hey, people are calling and we're answering the phone. Maybe it does happen. He didn't have a very good year this year.
I think he played a lot better down the stretch. I mean, PFF would tell you that he was the second best cornerback in the league to Sauce. I think the last 5 or 6 games he was pretty dominant. Not people weren't too locked into the.
They were like 8
Rams.
games under by then, but he's the first year didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
and
he gave up a lot of big plays. They
Gave
asked
up
him to do a lot. I think he'd have extremely high trade value, and he just feels like they don't have a lot of moves. They're almost like an NBA team that it's like you only have so many assets at a certain point with the cap and this and that, and like they need to do a lot, and they feel like maybe Ramsey, based on that answer, could be someone that gets them back into the draft, that they can get a couple first back.
What a plot twist that would be. Less need acquiring draft picks this time of year.
It's
he's
time,
always-
baby.
I know, right?
You don't answer that question if you're Demoff that way unless you're very comfortable with other teams. You know, you want to hear that.
I like the Twitter recruitment too. Like it's kind of spicy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is trying to get him to come to Detroit. And then Micah Parsons just like shot out. I'm sorry, no one's going from LA to Detroit.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
By the way, that was Bridget Condon, the interview with a friend and friend of the show.
She's the only Bridget I like.
At a Rams event. Yes, the human Bridgets are the ones we prefer. And we were at a Super Bowl event, Greggy, where Demoff was nearby. We were belly up at a bar, and tried to get his attention. Couldn't get his attention. And I think.
What were you doing to try to get his attention?
Is that even
I was like
true?
waving.
Now you're making this
And
up.
I was like,
You're making this up.
I was like, is it because I had the Rams power rankings in the playoffs? Is Kevin still upset about it?
Probably.
I think
Wakes up in the middle of the night.
It was a
That
very,
Kansas
it was a
has
very
a-
crowded party.
Yes.
And we were gonna go over and talk to him, and then we went and looked, and he was gone. But I don't remember any waving. That
You don't remember because it didn't happen. But I looked over at him and I was hoping we would make eye
Okay.
contact.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Took it
Sorry to
personally.
hear that.
Yeah. And I took that personally, little Michael Jordan. In other news, Derek Carr. Derek Carr, how about that? He's living the life right now because, yes, the Raiders didn't want him, but a lot of other teams do. And the nature of how this played out, I liked how he played it at the end. He met with the Saints, and there was a framework of a trade. And the Raiders, I don't know if this was done for revenge or just a game or whatever, but he's like, actually, no, I'm not going to accept a trade to New Orleans or anywhere else. So you have to release me,
I love
Raiders,
that.
and which they did because there was going to be a major bonus coming a couple weeks back. So now he's a free agent, and it's an incredibly nice setup for him, Connie, because all the other guys that are set to become free agents, they have to wait until the league year. So he has this long runway where he is the belle of the ball. He has talked with the Saints. He met with the Jets this weekend. There's another team in the mix.
Panthers maybe, but like Frank Reich wasn't really.
He met at an Italian restaurant with his buddy Mike Jersey, lives in Summit, so it's a very nice restaurant. It was Salah, it was Joe Douglas, it was Derek Carr, and then David Carr's brother, who he was the axis of a truce between around the NFL and Derek Carr, who had once blocked us and no more. David Carr, who works for this network, talked about the process for Derek.
And we knew he would love Robert Saleh. I've known Robert for a while. MJ knows Robert. He's fantastic, and they hit it off. And they they would love to work together. But there's a lot of questions that have to be asked. I think the most important thing for him as a veteran quarterback, what is it going to be like as an offensive play caller and a quarterback in that relationship? Todd Downing is there. He has a relationship with Todd. Nathaniel Hackett is also there. So how does all that work? And they had a good chat. They talked about a lot of different things. And obviously the team is just in need of a quarterback and some stability there. They have a lot of good components. There's a lot of things that are very positive about the Jets. He had a great trip, so.
That was on Total Access. Connie, like David Carr, kind of an interesting thing. Obviously, his brother, former player himself, but now he's his like brother's spokesperson in the media for this, which is kind of a funny, somewhat tricky thing to navigate because he's an analyst.
And I find myself hanging on every single word that he says, trying to analyze any little pause or inflection that he might have when he's talking about his brother's decision. And it sounds like he's saying that he wants to take some time to make sure it's right. Obviously, it sounds like he wants to maybe go to the Jets because that would be good for him if the Jets are waiting for Aaron Rodgers' decision. That seems like the first domino that needs to fall before any of this can be decided. But it's nice that Derek Carr has this time right now before any of the other free agents that he could sign with a team in theory, and then take advantage of that time to recruit other free agents to come and then help him out as well. So he does have that luxury, but I guess everything kind of is just hinging on what Aaron Rodgers
feels
wants to do.
Feels like the Jets want to see if they get Rodgers, and if they can, go get Derek Carr. That'd probably be the best.
Inventory is full.
I'm a little annoyed by what the Saints did bringing him in, and then they asked him to take a pay cut. It's like
Got
Come
played
on,
game
Dennis
smarter
Allen.
than that.
it's a broke boy behavior right there, broke franchise behavior. You got this salary cap issue that they always manage to finagle. And that they bring him in, they wine him and dine him. They're like, if you were gonna just ask him to take a pay cut to make the trade happen the whole time, just wait until he gets cut, because you were totally misreading the market. I think they thought that he would be happy to like, okay, you can come here and like get $20 million or whatever. It's gonna be somewhere in between like a backup and like a real starter. And to me, that's totally misreading the market. Derek Carr's gonna get paid. Derek Carr's maybe not going to take any pay cut at all. He might end up doing quite well in this scenario because there's only so many quarterbacks that are available. I don't think Geno's going to be one of them. There's way more teams than there are quarterbacks right now, and I think Derek Carr is going to be the number 2 guy behind Aaron Rodgers, because I think Daniel Jones gets franchise tagged. And people are waiting to see how all of these things shake out. But if it's just Derek Carr and Jimmy G that are completely free, and like Teddy and Dalton and all these other guys, like Derek Carr's at the top of the list. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna make a lot of money.
If you're deciding between Rodgers and Carr, I get it with the ceiling, but I think Carr is also younger, he's cheaper, you wouldn't lose any draft picks at all, and who knows how much longer Aaron Rodgers is even going to play for.
Right.
Life is short, though. I just feel like
It's true,
the
too.
Jets are kind of
Significantly
in Jets are in kind of like a let's live and let live.
Right. What could go wrong? He's not as good as Rodgers. He struggles in cold weather.
Sure.
He's a little bit sensitive, as we know. There are reasons.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers is sensitive, though?
They're different types. I think Rodgers is just like in his own planet at this point. But I hung a little like emoji, a bronze medal emoji, over the Derek Carr story this weekend on Twitter, because I do want Rodgers first. I'm not kicking the tires on Lamar if that's a possibility. He would be my number 2 choice, and then Carr. And I think this actually works out well for the Jets with Derek Carr taking his time. So it's giving opportunity for the Rodgers thing to play out, which is probably connected. We need to get so they don't get put in a situation.
I
get that. I get that. I mean, are you saying what you think it should be, or what do you think the Jets would choose? Because I kind of feeling that they would be like fall in love with the idea of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying it's the right.
I think if Lamar was available, I think that
The compensation involved with all this stuff matters too. Like if Rodgers is like a first and the Jets get a 4th back or something, and Lamar is like 3 firsts or 2 firsts and a 2nd, that matters too to me a little bit. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's move on. It's all gonna play out.
One way or
Soonish,
another.
maybe, right?
pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's February 21st. By March 21st, all these quarterbacks will have all those major free agents will be done with. It's it's all going to happen pretty quick.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, Bob McGinn. Now, Bob McGinn, for years, covered the Packers for the Sentinel.
Are you shitting me?
And he's also known widely for his draft coverage.
3 in a row?
And he spoke about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and their relationship. And McGinn, who is plugged in, Greggy, says he believes that Green Bay is, quote, done with Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love will be the team starter in 2023. He added that the team is, quote, disgusted with Rodgers.
Wow.
And they feel that he didn't put enough effort leading into the 2022 season, maybe a
Another
little bit
reason
out of
why
shape.
I want, like, Lamar. Like, at this point, Lamar's in his prime. I would
Fair.
really, yeah.
Well, Lamar, he's got injuries, so he can't stay on
Sure,
the field.
sure,
Last
but
couple of
I
years,
don't care.
it's a kind of a tricky decision. There's layers to it. Anyway, I know we trust McGinn. Greg, this kind of is in conflict with a prediction you had a couple of weeks ago, I think. I think you were saying Rodgers will ultimately go back in your mind. Do you still feel that way, or do you think this is heading towards divorceville?
Now I feel that a divorce is happening. I mean, McGinn knows certainly a lot better than I do, and I think Jordan Love is a quarterback they actually want to see play, that they're excited about him, that they think he got better. McGinn even threw it out there that if Rodgers insisted on returning, they'd make him the backup to Love.
That was the wildest part of the whole story.
That's like almost as a punishment. Of
Aaron
course,
Rodgers
that's
would
not gonna
take that beautifully.
Yeah.
He would go into a 7-year darkness retreat and say, you will play me anyway.
I think but if they were ready to move on with him, they would act like how they've acted. They're not going to say they're disgusted with him. They're just going to stay quiet about it and see what the best option is.
Unless they're telling McGinn this to put it out there, and then
I don't think
start
so
the
in this
divorce
case.
process.
I can't see that they would want this out there. He just says he's not coming back. He said based on everything he knows about the team, his experience, and then people who would be in a position to know that they're just like, they're ready. They're ready for a new start, just like they were all those years ago when the same exact thing happened with Brett Favre.
and it would make sense with all the flowery pieces that are coming out about Jordan Love and how impressed they are with him and everything else.
I think this is happening. I think he's going to be on the Jets now. Didn't he put a sandwich on it? Because I don't know. I don't see another team that's like just going to jump up and make this all happen as quickly and easily as the Jets. I just think the Jets are going to be that team.
The Panthers, but he's going to want to go somewhere.
Washington,
He wants to go somewhere with like some shit.
Daniel Jones had a nice. Daniel Jones had a nice ending to the 2022 season. I don't know. My radar's just up on this a little bit. But, really cutting down on his mistakes, and he's a better player and better coach with Brian Dable. Made a pretty solid starter for the Giants, and they had a surprisingly effective season. Made it to the second round of playoffs and all that. Now he's a free agent because they declined the option, the 5th-year option before last season. The new leadership. He is changing agencies. He's switching agents. He wants up to $45 million a year.
Reportedly.
45 million, reportedly.
I question why this would get out there. It would probably come from the agent that he fired.
From
my
CAA.
guess. Yes, that like this is how unreasonable.
Listen, I would. You don't have to put in a report. I'll say it. I would like $45 million a year.
Yeah.
Reportedly, like it's. I'm sure that's what he wants. Whether he gets
I'll
it or not.
take one. Let's go. Let's just put it out
Start
there
there.
into the universe.
Yes, the franchise tag would cost it. The non-exclusive tag would cost the Giants just over $32 million. So that's where things are. And is it heading that way, Greg? Is that what it's heading towards? Franchise tag, and what does that mean for Saquon Barkley, who's also a free agent with the Giants?
Yeah, there's like a lot of articles like, oh, this Daniel Jones is getting too big for his britches. You know, it's like he's just trying to get money.
That's the lead of every story.
Yeah, he's just trying to get money, and it is interesting that he would fire his agents, but I just think he was always going to be headed to the franchise tag in my mind, that the Giants were going to see if he would sign sort of an in-between, like Ryan Tannehill, Derek Carr type of deal. Because if he was, with like maybe 2 to 3 years of guarantees, they would have signed him. They wanted that, and that is a risk that he's passing on, let's say, $70, $80 million guarantee, but they aren't going to give him the big one. And otherwise, they're happy to give him the tag, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, clearly to me, he wanted more money than CAA was able to get him, and so that's why he's going to athletes first, and that's why CAA probably leaked this. But I mean, it's it's interesting that he's switching agents at this point.
You kidding me?
I don't know where they're going to go with this, if they're going to end up tagging him or not, but it feels like to me he's not going to get the money that he wants. They're probably going to tag him, and then Saquon's going to walk.
Kind of lets them not give Saquon the contract that I don't think they want to give him anyway.
Right. You know, if I was starting my own agency, I was thinking, well, like the athletes first. It's fine. But I would call people first. Because they're and then you kind of just elbow drop off the top turnbuckle your rival.
Oh, athletes versus taking a big dirt nap.
They take a dirt nap, and then, you know, if you're looking to choose, like, you know, oh, like just a player? Like, no, I'm a person. I'd go to people.
I think it's a beautiful, it's good branding.
Well, then you get a little, I don't know.
Okay.
Humans first.
Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Derek Carr if you were ranked in the top 101 free agents?
The player or
the player. Who would
The
you rather
person,
sign?
person.
Who would you
The
rather
people
have
first.
in a vacuum on a list that I'm writing?
I'm sorry, Daniel Jones or Derek Carr, you said?
Oh, I love this
Inventory is
exercise.
full.
Yeah, I thought a lot about it yesterday.
I guess I'm going to say Derek Carr because, again, watching all the Giants games, that was kind of a nice ending to the season for Daniel Jones, but he was kind of just Daniel Jones to me for most of the year before that.
He also didn't have any receivers.
But he had
And Derek Carr has never had a defense, so I feel like the two quarterbacks have dealt with.
I would take, I know Carr is older, but Carr is still pretty young. He's still 31, he's 32 soon. But it's a good one.
Right now, I'm back to Jones, but I've gone back and forth just because I feel like there might be another level he can get to. And I think they're both at a very similar, not replacement level starting quarterback, but that kind of like Dalton scale, right around the line, maybe like right a little
Like
above,
middle of the pack.
lower of the pack.
And
if
that's
you
why you
actually
want to
do
be
it.
an NFL starting quarterback. Just being a little bit better than average, getting 35 to 45 million.
Right. That's why he's not getting the 45 though. Like,
Right.
I don't think he would have that.
All right, let's take a break and then wrap
I would
things
put
up.
humans last.
Oh my
The
God,
revolution
no.
begins.
No. Hold the
Get
plug.
her out of here!
Pull the plug. This is not good. This is not. Eventually, that plug is
This
not
is
going to be.
this is what Bridget did.
There's
the
tank
they're
wound
off.
in your right
Yeah.
forearm. It's healing up nicely.
You know,
It is. I have it like a, what's it called? The fang tooth. I have
Yeah.
the fang tooth mark there.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
the saddest part about this whole thing though is because Connie's a dog lover, and we were out celebrating West a couple weeks ago.
Right.
In Culver City, and there's a lot of dogs around, and then me and you now.
Man, I know.
Once a great lover of dogs, you still are, but now afraid of the dogs, understandably, is sad.
I've taken
It
so
really sucks.
many L's.
You have to bring up.
I love dogs.
in your head.
It's
She doesn't
still,
need this.
still there, but I am quite terrified. I went to a party, a house party on Saturday night, and they had a quite big dog there. And the dog came up to me, and it was just like what happened at Christmas. There was a lot of people there, and the dog came up and started sniffing me, and the hair on the back of my neck was just standing on end, like, and I had chills, and I wanted to like run the other
Hear
way.
that, Bridget?
But we're good. We're good.
Sometimes it's good to talk about. Maybe this is like the most
Sometimes.
foolish thing.
I'm airing it out.
You talk it out.
Break
You talk.
bread.
You talk.
Breaking bread
This is
over here.
good. Yeah, I've been sitting Shiva the past week, so.
Is there anything else about Colleen's life that you want to get into?
Well, it
Greg,
also
that's not
introduces,
going well?
the personal to the listener. They really appreciate
Yes,
that.
let me share everything.
My
Can you
dog.
imagine living with me?
my dog. My puppy, the cat.
Yeah.
Like it's not Edge. It's the Edge. It's the captain.
Okay.
He's a little nippy. He's got the puppy nips.
Yeah, they're different.
So I'm gonna keep you clear of him, and I'm gonna train him.
Isn't ready.
Very, like Gannon, like.
Okay, that's good. Puppy nips are different though, because they have like the teeny tiny little sharp teeth, and like they hurt, but they're not scary. They're not gonna like maul you.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little puppy nip, like I'll be on a run, and these little.
You get a nip.
I've had 2 different puppy nips
What?
in the last like 2 years, and I'm just like, get control of your little. I mean, they're on a leash, but they're just.
So
like,
are you coming in maybe a little too tight?
There's traffic and stuff, but no. I mean, I'm trying to go onto the grass, and they're on the sidewalk.
I did used to
So much
hate when
room.
we would walk our dogs in Santa Monica and someone would come up running behind them because Dasher's a little bit of
Yeah.
a head case. And it was always like a little, like, oh my gosh.
I don't do anything either. I don't
Greg
say
gets
anything.
very close to the dog and
I
just like
just-
gives it a little nudge as he runs by.
I give the owner a little look after.
Greg's barking.
A WTF. So you're running, you turn around and like give like a WTF. Look.
Are you on the
Kinda
left
like
guy?
On your left.
Yeah.
No.
Is
How
that
about
you?
that?
No.
How about you become
What
that
is
guy?
this, a kitchen? Like, this is...
Hands.
I try to stay away, but sometimes you can't.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's wrap this up. Little OCDC segment. Eric the Enemy does the thing that I think he had to do, obviously, where he is in his coaching career. He wants to be a head coach, and, you know, there are different factors involved in this, some more upsetting to discuss than others, but one of the factors here is Eric Bieniemy being the OC in Kansas City when Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback and Andy Reid is the primary play caller. He just wasn't going to get a big chair. He wasn't going to get the promotion so many other OCs get when they're connected to a big time team. So he leaves that setting and goes and takes a job with the Commanders as their defensive coordinator. Your thoughts on that, Tommy?
I hate that he had to move to hopefully one day get the elevated job that he deserves, but I'm happy that he did it and is taking that chance. I think it's a bummer that he had to leave a successful organization
Is it
though, to get
unprecedented? Has this happened?
promoted like
Recent
this.
memory
I don't know.
leaving a spot like that?
And making a lateral move.
And obviously the other side of this is the NFL has a very bad history, recent history as well, not just extended history of black head coaches getting opportunities as head coaches, and that's been part of the conversation on the enemy for like years now.
Years.
Right,
Just
and
the
you,
best.
and like, the thing of being under Andy Reid is like, that is what usually guarantees you a job.
Right.
Like, Brad Childress gets a job. Matt Nagy gets a job.
Look at all the years from Sean McVay and all of his assistants that got jobs.
Right, but in Reid even specifically
Just
has
Reid
had
specifically, yeah.
so many. Now, you know, it's upsetting.
I can't carry it.
It's tricky. Like Bomani Jones, I've heard him talk about it, that sometimes focusing on the enemy specifically is almost a fool's errand, because like maybe there is something specific to Eric Bieniemy. He's had all these
A lot of interviews.
opportunities for whatever reason, and that focusing on that, it's a league which hires white guys on offense in general, and nepotism, and what you can do structurally, like that's a better thing to focus on than just specifically the enemy. But it is crazy because I just feel like if he goes to Washington and their offense is awesome, he's gonna get a job. So it's like,
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
right?
I
Like,
hope that happens.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I would love for that to
But
happen.
even that is weirdly embarrassing.
It is.
It's weird. It's unusual the way it all played out. And speaking of the Commanders, Ron Rivera said that Sam Howell, their second-year quarterback, will, quote, start out as QB1 heading to the offseason. Greg, that strikes me as classic offseason free agency draft hokum. The incumbent guy that's still on the depth chart, he's our guy. I feel very strongly they will come out of this with a veteran starter or I guess a high draft pick. That's where I stand. I think Hal sniffs the personally.
They've come out so hard with this that I think there's a chance.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll put
Save this
sandwiches on
clip.
that.
Save it.
So I think they are really saying we are not going to be in the big kids pool for these quarterbacks. We're not in the Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers pool. Or else they've come out strong like multiple times saying this. Howell did look very intriguing in that Week 18 game, and they did see him for the whole season in practice. Now he's like a later round pick, so that's surprising, but he also is a guy that at one point people thought would be a top 10 pick, and he does have incredible skills as a runner and like as a big arm, so it's like it's not that crazy. I could see them signing like a Teddy type and making Howell the one. Just because they've come out, why has he come out so hard saying this over and over? He said it like in multiple different interviews in different ways.
That's I feel like any time a team
Everyone
has done
lies?
that, it's this time of year, and the harder they go in on a
Yeah, but
player,
they
the more unlikely it is that that player is going to be in the spot that they're saying.
I'm usually with you. It's usually with someone they feel like they owe something to, or that was a high pick, and so they're just saying it to like placate this guy's ego, or just to like throw people off the set. But why would they be doing that with Sam Howell?
I don't know.
I want to go back
don't
through
know.
like old shows and see this time of year and see from like the news and stuff, because I have a bunch of stuff saved, and just see all the different examples of when this has happened.
Yeah, this is a good example. This one we shall see. I think about what was it? I talked about it with Mark a bunch of time in our early around the league blog days. Robert Griffin III, Mike Shannon finally famously came out and said that he was completely comfortable with Rex Grossman and John Beck as he'll stake his career, he said, on these two men going forward, and then they go and trade their entire draft basically to get a rookie quarterback.
Right.
I wouldn't call it like a lie if they end up going in a different direction. It just feels like this is how things go sometimes.
He was just very specific about the veteran part of it. And so that just told me that I don't think they're going to get into the Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Daniels, Derek Carr area of the pool.
Yeah.
That it's going to be like a Jake Brisket, or it's going to be a rookie. Maybe they're throwing people off the set, and it
Which is
a
kind of their
rookie.
brand. They like to get like the mid-tier starter on somewhat of a discount and hope they catch lightning in the bottle. Perhaps they'll do it again. Perhaps
Sam
they're
Howell-
sick of doing that.
Here's the thing, though. Sam Howell could be a real thing. I know not many people watched that game, but he was very intriguing in that game. And he has an intriguing skill set that no one less than Spicer, our friend, Brad Spicer, believes it.
Peppermill,
Believes
as I
it.
like to call
He
him.
believes in the fifth rounder.
He
I
was.
like it.
Here's the thing, though. He was kind of supposed to be like a lot of people had him as a lot of people had him as a better prospect than almost anyone in that class.
Why'd he fall?
It's gonna
It
be
was
like
a bad QB class on
It's
top
gonna
of
be
it.
like a Brock Purdy situation, where he just surprises everyone.
That's would be great news for Washington.
It would be.
Speaking, you mentioned Matt Nagy, the former Bears coach. He is expected to replace Eric Bieniemy as the OC in Kansas City. All right, let's see. The Ravens hire Todd Monken as their OC, formerly of the Bucks. The Bucks hire Geno whisperer Dave Canales as their OC. Frank Reich hires Thomas Brown as OC. And Jim Caldwell, Josh McCown, Deuce Staley, your good friend D. Hall, also on that staff.
Quite a staff there.
It
Caldwell,
is.
Josh
How about that?
McCown, Deuce Staley, D. Hall. Thomas Brown was the Rams assistant head coach, who a lot of people thought very highly of.
I want them to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Deuce Staley?
And I'm surprised.
Deuce? I don't know. Wait a second. I'm just realizing that too.
Yeah. He was so great on Hard Knocks, and he was a very, well, let's see. He was an assistant coach and the running back coach. And maybe with Ben Johnson having that big year and Dan Campbell being established, he wants to find his own niche. I don't know.
Campbell had made some changes on that staff. I don't think he was going to fire Deuce Staley, but usually when there's like a lateral move, it's something where Staley's got a relationship with Reich, and
yeah, that's
would rather
true.
be with him, but also that the other staff maybe like
Inventory is full.
he's not feeling it. So.
Right.
Like for instance, this isn't in this news, and we can circle back if you wanted to any of those, but like the Chargers defensive coordinator Ronaldo Hill left to go work under Vic Fangio in Miami, even though that's not even a lateral move.
No.
It actually seems like going
Speaking
down
of very
move.
unusual, I was going to
But-
mention that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, but I think it's just like he likes working for Vic. He probably did not like working for Brandon Staley, and it just wasn't a match.
That was my first instinct was like, man, that's not the greatest look for Brandon
For the
Staley that your
Chargers.
DC takes a demotion to leave the team. I mean, the most direct path to become a head coach, and that's the dream of so many of these guys, is to be a coordinator, and then you jump up. It doesn't have to be that way. Guys get head coach jobs all the time, not in the DC OC chair, but it's the most traditional next step to leave that position and go down a notch. That's interesting to me. It tells me a little bit, Greggy, about what internally some of the coaching staff feels about where Staley is as a coach, where that organization could be in the near future.
And the culture. I mean, think about anywhere that you've worked before that has like a toxic environment. It's just, it's not helpful at all. It's not fun to be around. It's not, no one likes to be in that. So
Right,
if
and
that is a component, then it makes complete sense.
And it might be taking it too far to believe that it was toxic or anything like that. He might have been losing his job. Zeus Healy might have been losing his job, and it's a close-knit coaching community, and they try to avoid firing if at all possible. So if you can get another job elsewhere, then it's like you never have to announce the firing. They're all from the same staff. Staley, or from the same tree. Staley used to work for Fangio too. So, but he also is like it is.
You're
I think
absolutely
everything
right.
you're saying is also worth considering.
You're absolutely right, but it is interesting when the jump without there being a firing involved or a contract lapsing involved goes. You go down the ladder a notch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. And you mentioned Fangio. He is hired by the Dolphins as their DC. He's 64 years old. He's very good at that job. And Ryan Stevens took a step back once Flores exited last year. That's a good hire for the Dolphins. I don't want the Dolphins to take the next step as a defense end, but I feel like that's really better.
Great hire. He was getting fired too on his. The Bradley Chubb, like
I like that.
Jalen Phillips. Like they have potential, but they got to show what they do. It's like, you just gave Bradley Chubb a $100 million contract, and he used to be your player. Didn't play that well for Fangio. It's like he's already getting into fights. The one thing, the most interesting one of it, Canales will be interesting for the Bucks. He was the quarterback coach of Seattle. We don't really know, but Monty's been around. Big play guy. Was in college. Was the Georgia offensive coordinator. Big vertical throw offense. How that mixes with Lamar. It's certainly a different type of offense if Lamar is there.
Let's wrap things up with Connie. A little odds and ends. Hit it.
Oh! Odds and ends, odds and ends. Hey everybody, tell your friends. Odds and ends.
Oh! It took 4 years, but we did it.
Did you even
more.
know that was coming?
No, and I'm having like
That's what
part
did
of
it.
it. Yeah.
my allergies are bothering me, so my singing voice is just not here today.
Or is it?
Maybe it just started.
That was like Jordan, like that one game, right when he came back for the Wizards, he put up like 40 and then he was never good again. But
Let's cut that
like
for the Connie bot because she's never going to do better than that one.
I wasn't sure
Right
what key
there.
to really start in, but we got there, guys.
Nailed it. All right. Our buddy Aaron Jones, who was on the around the NFL Super Bowl shows from Media Row, he will be back in Green Bay. He will attempt to set the all-time rushing record for the Packers, which I told him is about 2.5 seasons away if he stays healthy. He takes a haircut, Connie. But he's back in Green Bay. Rex Ryan.
What's he doing these
He's
days?
been at ESPN the last few years doing the Sunday morning show, but it's like, should be on the sideline. Guess what? He's interviewing with the Denver Broncos about their vacant DC job. We'll see if that turns into something. And by the way,
Sean Payton,
the connection, he did the TV over
He
Fox.
did the
They're
TV.
veterans. Fox sent out an awkward tweet
I
congratulating.
feel naked right now without the afternoon delight.
Sure.
I feel like we need afternoon delight. To
All right, hit it.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry.
And Mike Westhoff, our
Ooh.
buddy, our friend.
How about it?
He just put out a book talking about I had a legendary career as special teams. I'm the GOAT. He was on our show last summer. Here's a little excerpt.
For him to write a letter like that was totally inappropriate. And so I blew up.
That's Westhoff burying Bill Parcells on our podcast,
in
which
a
is
big
fun.
spot.
That was such a good ad.
He's the special teams coach over there now. That's awesome. Westhoff is back. And Matt Ryan, Greg. This makes so much sense to me. I can picture Matt Ryan in a suit, a little bit stiff, delivering very, solid, if not spectacular analysis in a booth somewhere.
People said he was good. He was on a pregame show, and I'm out of range. I didn't see it.
A rich man's Trent Green.
Right. I think maybe like the new Rich Gannon, who I always thought was good, who had good solid quarterback takes. Matt Ryan.
Every time I've interviewed him, he's been fantastic.
Might be better than we're giving him credit.
Maybe,
Yep.
maybe. I'm picturing it, and it makes sense that he's in a booth.
And it kind of, and quietly, that means he's retired. They have to retire. They have to release him, by the way. We're going to the Hall of Fame with Tom.
Oh, don't. I think Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer. We'll get to it. He's going to retire soon. And finally, and that's odds and ends. Usually, Connie, and that's odds and ends. Usually, kind of, we end with the song as well, but nailed it.
Exactly.
Why? Imagine not hitting it on the outro.
I can imagine it. I've done it many times. So
We don't need more discipline.
let's just
let's
let it be.
And finally, before we say goodbye, we talked about a few weeks back, Gravedigger, the idea, Jim Gray as a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Gray has had a tremendous career in broadcasting, but Jim Gray's got a star. So, what about us? Can we get a star around the NFL on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? And did some digging on this one. And where are we at on the ATN Star update, Justin?
They are eagerly awaiting a $40,000 check. So if anyone wants to make
Don't you
happen,
have to be approved first, though?
Yes.
Isn't the approval before the money?
Are we approved? I guess is the question.
not.
Has
well,
anyone applied?
Yeah, has an application been submitted?
We'll call it in process, I think, is probably the best way to describe that part of it. But yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Are
term
you a
paper.
manager right now? What's happening?
Let's get on this. Gravedigger.
Processing, sort of like the whole guy thing is along
Right.
the approval process.
Oh, yeah, right. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. And just to make it clear to our audience, not that I feel like there's been any rush to do so, this is not a GoFundMe situation or anything like that. We do not want any fundraiser from the audience on this one. We want to get to a point where the Hollywood Walk of Fame comes to us and says,
That happens.
Join
I don't
Hollywood
think that's
Boulevard.
happened.
Join Hollywood Boulevard.
All right, good update. Good update. Oh, congratulations, by the way, to our buddy Matt Schneider, shadowy league figure himself,
Extraordinaire.
a good man, a father once again,
The boss.
to a beautiful, healthy baby girl.
That's great.
So,
I didn't know that.
Matt Schneider and especially for Wyatt. The mom does deserve really to be
You keep going. Keep
No,
going.
I'm just saying. I've been through this twice myself, and it's like, congratulations, Dan. It's like, well, I didn't do anything. Really. I mean, months earlier, yes, I had played a role, but the mother deserved. Why am I talking?
I love this.
Congratulations
Keep
to
going.
Schneider.
Just digging a grave. Yes, congrats to his wife, Nicole, for doing the hard work. And congrats to Sky Avery Schneider. I like that.
Oh, great name.
I like that name.
Good one.
Awesome job.
Sky Schneider.
2 kids under 2. That's a lot of work.
I have no idea what that's like.
You do know what that's like.
What?
Don't you? Are you having a sibling that's close to you, right?
No.
We're not getting sharp.
I've never changed a diaper in my life. Like, I don't know anything about it.
Well, go over and visit Sky. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back Thursday. Until then, heed the call.
Inventory is full.
takes. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, February 10th, 2023. We are live from the FanDuel stage for the last time here. Super Bowl 57. We start now. Football! It's a fantastic sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Football is the topic of conversation on this particular program every single time we grab mics in our hands. We are lucky to be doing it live from Radio Row here for the third straight year. And this is the last day we're going to be here. The energy has been fantastic. The vibes immaculate, and the guests stellar.
Top tier.
Well said. Unbelievable.
Today we got a hell of a lineup. The Toxic Table's here at Ty Schmidt at Boston Connor. Sitting next to one half of the Hammer, Dad Cowboys Tone Diggs. The host in the trenches, also co-host all week this week.
Wow.
AQ Shipley.
Baby, AQ.
And obviously the man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and a two-night winner, I believe, on the pickleball court of the Airbnb, Mr. AJ Hall.
Baby, AJ.
We're supposed to have two on the show to lead off the show. He canceled on us.
Oh, man.
I'm not happy about allegedly.
Allegedly.
A lot of allegedly's coming up in conversation in my life these days. I'm getting sued by Brett Favre.
What?
Yeah, we made it, boys. Hey,
You're right.
Take a bow.
let's raise our drinks. When we started this little show in the basement of a house that certainly was haunted,
Yeah.
and the mics rarely worked, and we talked for an hour and a half on numerous occasions and found out that we weren't recording. This show has grown so much that we're lucky to be live from Radio Row. We're lucky to have a little bit of say in sports. We're thankful that we have the opportunity every day to be a part of the sports media world. And I guess whenever you get a little bit too big, you fly a little bit too close to the sun.
That's right.
I'm getting sued alongside Shannon Sharp and an auditor from Mississippi by Brett fucking Favre.
Wow.
Brett Favre suing me in a defamation lawsuit saying I defamed his name to try to earn a profit. With this, obviously, I believe comes discovery and depositions and all these other things. So I would like to let the New York lawyers that wrote me two letters before this thing got announced. First letter was, we would like you to go back and erase every single video that has Brett Favre's name mentioned in it from your YouTube library, your Twitter library, and everything else. This is a warning shot, pretty much.
You need something?
So I looked at that, I said, that is hilarious. Of course we're not doing that. Put that down, move on with my life. Then a few days later,
Safe travels.
a few days ago actually, you have until Wednesday, okay, this Super Bowl week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to issue a public apology to Brett Favre and also to erase all of the video in your catalog that involved Brett Favre's name. That is 8:30 Wednesday. So my wife read that to me because I was here. She was not here yet. And I immediately started laughing because my wife understands I'm one of the worst apologizers in history. It's tough to get me to do it. It is. It's very difficult.
Need help?
So now I had a deadline, 8:30. I was planning on doing it.
Yeah.
We played pickleball.
It happens.
Flew right through
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you
I
gonna
just
do?
learned about a drop shot. Oh, I'm sorry. I just learned how to serve with like a wicked topspin on it. And I got caught up. That timeline came and went. And all of a sudden, I'm getting sued. I would like to let everybody know the quotes that were in that lawsuit were certainly accurate. But there's one word I believe that was said often on this particular program, if you were to watch it all, and that would be allegedly.
That's right.
Our job is to report the news. Allegedly, what was going on down in Mississippi with Brett Favre, the man who is suing me for money and for defamation, was being reported on this particular program because we owe the sports media world our coverage of it. We take our job seriously as journalists. Just a couple days ago, we introduced to the world darkness retreats for 4 days.
There you go.
We've made poop jokes before.
Yep. Right.
We've also potentially been a part of building an indoor facility, which is just like a $100,000 bubble for the Cincinnati Bengals team. We take a lot of pride in our work. We had to cover that situation, and we certainly said allegedly. And a lot of people are wondering how my lawyers are going to handle this. You know it. I ain't got them. So let's ride this fucker. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'll see you in court, pal. Cheers to everybody, and cheers to Feel Good Friday not being ruined at all by that.
Cheers.
No. Cheers to all you guys.
Cheers.
You think they're going to pull up clips of...
I hope so.
I want to be on the stand.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm getting deposed or whatever, right? I'll be in one of those videos where I'll be sitting in a room. Lawyer's supposed to be here, so I'll probably be AJ just sitting next to me.
I got you.
Just so I can have somebody with me so I'm not bored.
Oh, well, dude knows the other guy.
Did you guys say that he was a sticky finger bandit? Yeah, but then allegedly, because allegedly he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
Right. That's right.
But nonetheless, the more we speak, the better it gets. And I don't think this is ending anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
So shout out to everybody that gave me the heads up I'm getting sued and for all the support and love, but I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. This was my decision to handle it. I'm just going to put a GIF up here. What a joke. I don't know. I've had lawyers reach out to me and tell me how big of a joke this whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I assume this is going to come at some point with how big the show has gotten. We're lucky for it. We're thankful for it. We move on. Joining us now is a man who is a lightning bolt, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
A guy who has influenced every human on the internet, I'd say. Every person that has ever done the internet knows of this man's existence and has been inspired or influenced or entertained. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has an NFT Super Bowl in an NFL stadium not only last year but this upcoming year. Obviously an author, 5-time New York Times bestseller. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary V.
Let's go!
I used to be a doctor too.
You have lost yourself to madness.
I changed career paths. I used to be a doctor too.
I've seen a lot of people seem like they're aiming part of that, and see if I can go out there and crush some people.
So Brian had the high score with 47 in the very first game today. He is the number 1 seed. Adam Willis, the defending champion, is the number 2 seed. He had a 43 in the very last game. So do you look at those two players as the guys who are going to be the players to beat?
They're just because they have a good history with the sport, they know what they're doing. Yes, they will be contenders, but the slate's wiped clean.
Can I help you?
Points on the scoreboard.
Have a good one.
It's anybody's game.
Hey,
and as mentioned before, Adam Willis has definitely spent way too much of his life playing this. So we are getting set to start round number 2. That's going to wrap things up for our intro. Game number 1 will feature Brian Rothery, Matt Azar, and Buddy Emmons. So Brian up first in the first game here of round number 1, and he's going to nearly throw over the roof, but comes away with the 1 point. Matt, what a solid showing.
This time and actually keep score. That was definitely a base hit. Did he get
No, he did not catch it.
0 right there. So close to a ping. So close to a catch. But it comes away with nothing.
And a ping there for Buddy, so he has the early lead here after the first round of the first round of the first game of the second round. Try and digest that.
My head's gonna explode.
Mine already did.
I'm trying to think of it.
There's Brian who gets the 1 point.
Hello.
Just missed the ping, but does come away with the catch. So his first points of
See you around.
Been cautious on his first couple of throws. Buddy,
just missed the multiplier there.
I've seen a lot of people seem like they're aiming at the multiplier today. I don't know if that's because they're afraid of throwing it over, or if they just don't know what they're doing.
Just a little short, but he does come away with a point. So an average of 1 point per round here for Brian. Matt with the catch, he now has 2. Pretty low scoring early on here.
Buddy has an uncanny ability to come up with some interesting plays when he needs them. So, thinking a catch for him right there.
I don't think
ping and a catch?
Yeah, that was a ping and a catch. I don't think I've ever actually met anyone named Buddy. That was not a ping, just missed it, but that was a catch. So
it's a base. Unfortunate.
No hit.
Solid. Shaking the pole.
That shook the whole house there. Now going back to the name Buddy, when I think of the name Buddy, I think of Buddy Lembeck from Charles in Charge.
Owen gets the grab. 14 total after the fourth. Buddy's actual real name is Robert, I believe. I don't know where Buddy came from, much like I don't know where Roscoe came from either.
Who's Roscoe?
Roscoe
Nice
is Brian,
oh.
who just hit the card. So that is minus 1 point. Down to 3 again. At least he's getting some sort of a point every time he's up there.
As Matt comes away with 1 there, he now has 9. Buddy looking for the around. He gets it. Can he make the catch?
Inside around.
Oh,
that
can't
is
get the
kind
catch.
of a rarity.
That's kind of hard to judge whether that ball's going to hit off the gutter or not, but Buddy is the clear leader here midway through. Oh, and that just falls
Not
short.
willing to sacrifice the body or the bushes. Stays at 3.
Brian struggling here. Nice ping there for Matt. Buddy goes over.
Takes it.
That makes this thing a lot closer.
Matt Azar is only 4 points behind now. Brian is quite a bit.
He needs to get it
16
together.
away.
But you know what? 1 around and he's back in this thing.
There
He
we
gets
go.
it.
Oh, almost
nearly got the
multiplier.
multiplier. And an
Look
11.
at that. 15 is in the game. As Matt Azar just mentioned.
What can I do for you?
I think he got to him.
And Matt makes the catch, so Matt is in second place with 16.
Buddy's going to get back, and it's a whole new game when he comes in.
The great thing about roof ball is the fact that you can have negative points here, and that really allows the other competitors who aren't playing very well to get themselves back in it and have some new life.
I am sort of proud of the fact that I have the third lowest score ever in roof ball.
And what was that score?
It was negative 10 points.
How do you do that?
I went for gusto every time, and I threw a lot of overs.
Have a good one.
That was my rookie season, too.
Well
Another
met.
over for Buddy. He drops down into third place. Actually, that would be
Be
a tie
careful.
for second place.
This is a game, folks.
Brian, who was 16
What can I
points
do
down a
for
moment ago, is now tied for second. And now he is in second place all by himself.
Matt Azar, by being consistent, hits the base of that.
That did not hit, but he does get the catch, and he is still in first place with 2 games to go, or 2 rounds to go in this game. But
Safe
Buddy
travels.
Emmons has a round in hand.
Matt hasn't made any spectacular throws yet, but he's been consistent. He's at least been, he hasn't made any big mistakes yet.
And at this point, the biggest throw of this round has got to be the around for Brian, getting himself back in this thing.
Absolutely.
Buddy down by 3. He's in third place now. Takes his time, throws it up.
Light be with you.
He's got this great arm. He tends to get a lot of rounds that way when he hits it in the right spot. Obviously, he didn't do it that time, so he's got nothing. Nothing. Speaking of nothing.
But Brian's still in second place.
16.
Just 1 behind.
Another base shot.
And Matt with just the 1 point, as both all 3 players are struggling here. And it would be detrimental to see any of these guys throwing over right now. But Buddy looks like he just might have done that.
Buddy just takes himself
Safe travels.
completely out. He's down to 9.
So he is now in third place by a lot. This is the
Last
the
round.
row.
We've got Brian at 16, Matt at 18, and Buddy at 9.
Need help?
So this is a big throw
Don't
for
screw
Brian.
it up.
Be careful.
And
What
he's
can
just
I
gonna
do
get
for
the
you?
1 point.
Maybe screw it up.
He's got 17. He's 1 point behind. So
Azar just needs to. Oh, and it goes for, see? Goes for the man's throw.
and Matt Azar with a total of 24. The only way for Buddy to come back now is to get a point multiplier with the around. We've only seen that once today through the entire first round plus.
And that has only happened about 4 times that I can remember in the tournament play.
Well, this is when it's going to be the most important to see that. There are dogs all over the place. As I mentioned to you during our halftime break, it's a good thing Michael Vick is not here today or we'd all be in trouble.
This is true. Well, the dogs would all be in trouble, and Michael Vick would be in more trouble.
Yes. Hopefully that was appropriate for television.
Would you like
and
to
that's going
purchase
to go
something?
off the car.
8 points.
So halfway through,
Have a great day now.
halfway through, Buddy had 24 points, and he looked like he was in cruise control. He had a 15-point lead, and he finishes with 8, being last.
Could be the greatest meltdown I've ever seen, actually, within a single game.
He totally Phil Mickelson that last round. So that's going to do it for game number 1. We'll head to game number 2. We have Adam Willis, the defending champion, Michael Rounds, and Dano. Adam goes with the first one, trying to stay around the car, and he does make the catch, so 1 point for Adam. A weak start there for the defending champ on his home court. So here is Michael Rounds with his first throw. Taking his time. Nice spiral there. He smacks off. And off the car, so he comes away with 4. Now Dano
Good ping on that
slings it up there.
Oh, he gets the ping.
Barely, and does not get the catch.
It's too far away. Yet he's in the lead. With 5.
Adam trying to defend his home barn. Makes the catch and the ping for a total of 6 on that. We are quickly moving through the second round.
Ooh, kisses it.
Nearly got the round, but doesn't make the catch. Now keep in mind that the winners of each of these second round contests all advance. We also have 2 wild cards that advance as well. It makes a nice
Good
save.
save. Good save. Couldn't go for the catch, but makes a great save. 3 to 5.
Adam nearly stepped across the line there. He
And
throws it
dumps
across.
It. Doesn't matter.
Michael's having a solid second round.
He's come out to play this time. He's warmed up. He looks well limbered. Keeps getting there.
This time it
Good
does
save
hit the
again.
That hit the roof.
It hit the roof. Did not hit the car.
I meant the car.
No, you saved it. You did a save on that. So
You did. So through 3 rounds here of game number 2, Michael has the highest score with 16, Dano with 5, and Adam Willis with the disappointing 2. So he needs to start to get himself back into this thing.
Adam seems to rattle. See if he can compose himself and make a comeback.
He gets the
Gets
ping,
the ping
and the
and
catch.
Up to 8.
Michael cruising along here so far with his 4th throw. Nice solid ping again. That's some good accuracy. And the catch. Look at
Nice,
that.
There you go.
Fantastic job of saving it from hitting the car.
Dialed in so far.
That was a 2-point turnaround right there.
Ooh. Just misses. Gets the catch this time, but just misses the point.
Willis waiting for the dog to cross. Throws it up. Has a chance. Oh,
Misses
just
the
can't.
catch.
Michael having a fantastic round here. Nearly got the round. Gets the ping. And now has 28 points through 5 rounds.
Michael's just going out.
I'm out of range.
He's not fooling around when he gets steps up there.
Dano with the
And
ping.
first solid ping.
Playing
Might
a little
be the beginning
conservative.
of what he needs.
Adam's still in second with 13.
Inventory is full.
Going for the around, and he does not get it. Trying to make the catch. Ball's right in his lap.
Gets a point on that. Comfortably in the lead. Michael sees it again.
I need to get just going for the straight pin right off the bat. Not even worrying about the around. He knows that he has such a good lead that he doesn't need to take any chances.
20 on Adams. Dano moves himself in second place.
Adam nearly with the around. I don't think he pinged that, no.
Gained 1 point. Did everything but what he wanted to. That's a point. That's the first miss that we we've seen Michael have in
first time
the
he's
entire round.
Big spot for Dano.
Quite take advantage of it.
Can't make the catch either. If he was able to come up within a round, he would have gotten himself within 6 points of the lead, but can't quite get that.
I can't carry it.
Nice ping for Adam. Much needed
Dials
ping.
himself back in there.
Now again, there are 2 wild cards
I
that
need
will
to get
advance,
closer.
so you don't have to win, but it certainly helps. Michael with the second straight over.
Might be sitting back relaxing a little bit too much. Oh,
I don't think he got
backside.
it, did he?
Gets the backside in with the catch. 24.
The target. 2 throws left for each of our competitors here. And a nice ping for Adam as he knows he's probably not going to win this game and wants to put himself in position for the wild card. Again, the solid ping. And a catch. See, it's a good thing he's as tall as he is he was able to make the grab there. Now he comes into this is the 8th solid pings.
There you go.
What we got, man?
6 more, up to 30. Last round, we have Adam Willis at 27, Michael Rounds at 40, and Dan O'Reilly at 30.
For a final score, so that eliminates Buddy. Michael throws
Shucks
it over. You hear the drones in the crowd.
5, Dano can take this.
Actually take this.
Yeah, with a ping and a catch, he will.
Yeah, big catch. You got it.
Steps up.
Takes his time.
No
ping.
He misses it.
And he finishes with
Dano
31.
grips the game.
So after 2 games of round number 2, Buddy and Brian are eliminated. Matt and Michael have moved on to round number 3, while Adam and Dano are our wild cards. Game 3 coming up next.
Pretty high wild card score so far, 31.
So we are set here to start game number 3. It is Matt, Steve, and Elise. Matt is up first. We await his first throw. He is ready to go.
Should be an interesting round. I don't know how many people know this, but Matt and Elise are dating and actually just got back from a 6-month trek through South America.
Wow.
A little bit of a War of the Roses going on here.
That would explain the hair and the beard there for him.
That would.
That's a ping. That is a solid ping there for Steve and a catch. So first 2 competitors with 6s here.
Did he get a ping?
Right.
He missed the catch. Elise with an impressive showing in her first round today.
Matt nearly goes over.
Goes for gusto, but nothing on it.
See, he's got the athletic
Need
ability
help?
there. She's trying to run around and make the catch. And there's the point for Steve.
Light bless you.
Shy again.
Can't make the catch.
Misses
Now,
the
why
catch
couldn't
as
she play
well.
like this when I was playing against her?
Oh, that goes for it. Can't quite make it happen though.
What were they doing in, did you say South America or South Africa?
South America.
What were they doing
That
down
was
there?
base. Point there. Trekking around, drinking lots of South American beer, and fishing
Nice catch
a
there
lot.
for Elise.
Copious amounts of fishing.
Hello.
Working on the vocabulary today. Nice ping and a catch there for Matt.
Have a good one.
Copious is a good word. I like it.
Nice ping there from Steve. As he makes the catch and comes away with 6. He's rolling along pretty well here. He's got the lead with 14.
Elise, a good throw, but a little off.
Oh! Nearly came away with the catch.
Matt,
Matt
chucks
throws it over.
Shame. He was doing so well, down to 6.
And whoever doesn't win this needs to have at least 31 points to move on.
This could be a case of who doesn't F up.
And
15.
F Meaning foul, of
Meaning
course.
foul, yes, obviously.
Nice ping. Big spot there for her to make that play. The 6 for Elise. She needed that.
Elise
Now
is
she's
up
in
to
second
7.
place.
Takes the lead over Matt. Not the lead, but Elise is beating Matt. Matt, Elise is beating you.
Matt hears that he's
Matt was
now
aware of
losing.
that because he was in the back.
Matt with the ping and the catch. Steve with the 0.
Goose egg on that throw.
Elise with the ping. And the catch. Look at that. She now has a total of 13. She's in second place.
Close game.
Matt with just the 1 point as we are in round number 7 here.
It'll be interesting to see how things in the household go if Elise wins.
1 point there for Steve.
I'll abstain from saying who I'm rooting for. Oh, gets the backside ping. Almost the around.
And the catch.
Finishes with the catch.
So Steve had 1 on his last throw, and Elise with 6 there. Nice ping for Matt. And the catch
Nice
as he
catch.
falls to the turf.
Matt has 19.
1 point there for Steve.
I'll abstain from saying who I'm rooting for. Oh, gets the backside ping. Almost the around.
And the catch.
Finishes with the catch.
So Steve had 1 on his last throw, and Elise with 6 there. And a nice ping for Matt. And the catch
Nice
as he
catch.
falls to the turf.
Matt has 19.
Steve just is able to get the bounce there off the gutter. He's in second with 17.
Elise, can she maintain? Oh, it's all tied up.
That was a great
All
effort, though.
Tied up.
Nearly got the round. I almost had some separation there,
Backside.
but he makes the catch for the 6, so he's got 25 and is in the lead.
Side
Ping. Catch. Good. This is definitely going to come down to the last throw here. Elise just misses the ping. Just misses the catch.
Last inning. Matt with nothing.
Can he
get
make
a
the
point?
catch? Oh, almost got some help out by the tree branch.
Gets in there. Was the ball still in movement when he took a hold of it? Was it still moving? Was that a catch? No catch. Rule
And a
is
ping.
no catch.
Big time for a ping there and a catch for Steve.
Takes the lead on that. And this is the
Elise.
most important throw of the game.
She has a
With
catch,
1
but
point.
not quite enough. So after the 3rd game of the 2nd round, Steve has moved on with a total of 29. Matt and Elise eliminated as Matt has 25 and Elise with 20. So Adam and Dano are still alive here for wild card spots. We are set now for game number 4. All right, so we start game number 4 of the 2nd round. We have Rob up first, then Casey, and then Michael. Rob up for his first throw, and he's going to throw it almost over the roof and makes a catch.
Rob's in that danger zone. He tends to make it about this far, and then sometimes has trouble. We'll see how he does today.
Nice solid ping there for Casey with the catch. He's got 6, and now Michael's first throw attempt.
3-time world champion, Casey.
And he's going to come away with 1 with the catch there. Now, Adam, you're still alive with 33.
Yeah, I'm looking all right so far, I think. I'm optimistic right now.
And you should be, as Rob just comes away with the 1. He now has 2 points.
Yeah, back in the Sims, he got knocked out in the first round in the last tournament. It's the first time that ever happened to me. I'm excited to be back in the contention.
Look at that
he
play.
got it.
That is acrobatic. That's a Sports Center moment right there.
On this test, we just call it a sports rise moment.
That's a Sports Rise moment right there. And unfortunately, he does make the great play, but only comes up with 1 point on that.
Yeah, but you never know. That was 1 point differential could be a huge factor in a wild card race or.
That's what kept me out of the 2nd round.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little short on that one. I think it was base. Yeah.
Can't carry. So Rob with 3 points through 3. Nice ping there for Casey.
Gotta look out for Campbell, man.
Did he make that catch, Adam? I didn't see it.
Oh, just.
Nice athletic catch there. Rob is struggling. So Adam, the general consensus that I'm getting is nobody really wants to see you win again.
Well, you know, it's always kind of a weird thing when the founder wins. Casey around,
that's solid.
You got to look out for him. I'd be interested to see how people feel about him. Because he's won a lot of tournaments in a short amount of time back early in his career.
He's got a huge lead right now.
On him, Mr. Cook.
Casey with 24, Rob with 3, Michael with 7. Rob needs to get back into this
Just
thing.
having a little trouble finding the mark right now.
So Rob has either had a few too many pops or he's been hanging out with me a little bit too much, kind of throwing him off his game.
One or the other. Oh, tries to dive, didn't get it that time.
So is that a negative point there?
Did it hit the car first?
I don't know if it hit the car first.
I don't think it did.
I think it hit the ground
Casey, did that
first.
hit the car? No, yeah, it's just a 0. And that was a 0, so
yes.
Michael Cook's holding 7, and Rob with a 0. 3 shows in a row, and he's
Rob only
having
3
trouble.
points through his first 6
I'm
rounds
feeling
here.
pretty confident about my wildcard chances right now.
I think you're probably right. And an easy point there.
He actually looks a little miffed with himself. I think with a almost 20-point lead, he should be fairly happy.
Nice catch there for Michael. Now he has 8 points and remains in second place. And Rob gets the around. That was as big a spot as any today to get an around. He really
right back
needed
in
that.
things here. He's only one more of those away from catching up with Campbell.
Not if Campbell keeps throwing like that. And the catch, 31.
And he went for that 1 seed. They have a bullet throw.
And the catch.
Rookie kind of petering out here in round 2. Oh.
6 points there for Rob. He has 20. He's still in this thing. He is very much alive.
Campbell's got to leave the door open for him, though, and that's not how you leave the door open. He's slamming the door shut.
He's not taking any chances here. And neither is Michael Cook.
Well, you know, Rob now has a shot at getting into that wild card contention. The wild
Yes,
card
he certainly
31.
does.
So there's a ping. If he gets one more of those, he's going to be a wild card.
26, yeah. Adam, you look pretty safe here.
It's looking good for me. I don't think that Michael Cook's going to catch me, but I don't know if anyone's going to catch Casey today.
Casey, 43 heading into his last ball.
Rob, this is it. You got if you ping this,
It's a car.
You ping it, you're in. Kind of a knuckler.
He goes over and he
loses
loses chance.
And Dano stays alive right there.
So Rob finishes with 21 as he throws his way out of contention here for this championship.
Oh, Casey loves doing the underhand throws late in games just to be safe.
44, and I believe that's the high score here in round number 2.
Yeah, he's going to be the 1 seed. Not shocking, really. There he goes. Michael
Solid
finally gets
ping off the car, finishes with 13. So here's how things are looking right now. Casey finishes with 44 points in game number 4. He will be the 1 seed heading into the next round. Matt, Michael, and Steve all advance as winners, while Adam and Dale just missed with the around. Makes the catch. He really needs to get it going a little bit. He only has 7 points through the first 4 innings of the semifinal round.
Casey started out really solid. Well, he missed the point in the first one, but seemed to focus himself and dial it in, and then he kind of blew it. So we'll see what he does on this. Will it be a comeback, or will it be a meltdown?
You also notice the footwear of Casey.
Has gone on over the last couple tournaments. Good footwear or not,
That's right. I'm a little surprised we're seeing so many people wearing flip-flops here toward the end of February. Or as they call it where I'm from, Oregon.
Oregon, yes.
Catch there by
Inventory
Casey,
is
who
full.
has 9.
Hippie Bill. Up.
Nice solid ping.
Good sacrificing body to get the catch.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking right now.
You should.
I don't know if it's over. You can end it. The catch there off the ping by Matt.
This is a close game between them.
And the catch there by Lucy.
Oh, he gets the around. The inside around, too.
Oh, he now has the lead. Apologize to any of the children listening right now, by the way.
Most likely be at 2 a.m., so.
I guess you kind of have to expect that when you're watching baseball, though.
It's part of the game, really.
Does he get the around? Yes, he does. Talk about a good bounce. Back into the game. He now has 26 points. Still trailing. Dano?
If I could do math, that'd be true.
That was solid right there. That looked like it was going to go over instead, and it's around with the catch. So Dano with 53 points. That's the highest point total you've seen so far today. Did that get the base? That was a ping.
That was a ping.
6 points for Matt. He's got 42.
Oh, it's around. Just misses the catch multiplier and misses the catch.
But 36 is pretty solid.
36.
Normally you would advance with the 36, but not this round. Not when these competitors, not with the way these competitors are playing. Dano gets the ping. He squeaked into this round, but it doesn't look like he's going to squeak into the next round. He's got 59.
Inventory is full.
Azar, nice catch there as he nearly landed his head.
Going into the final round, we have Casey at 36, Dano at 59, and Matt at 43.
Casey really needs an around right here. Doesn't get it. Instead goes for the ping, and he's hoping, as he has 39 points, he's really hoping that Matt.
It's too far away.
He's got the over-the-top look going. Backwards, he's definitely not screwing around. Picking up around 11 points.
Wow, we've just heard that
all-time roof ball scored record.
That is the highest score in the history of roof ball with a 70.
70 points by $206. Better come in my direction.
I think it's a pretty safe bet that he will advance. That's Matt with the catch. Matt now finishes his second round score with a 49. So really solid scores there. Dano wins it with 70, Matt with 49, and Casey with a 42. So Casey is eliminated. Matt still has a chance to move on with the wild card score. Back with our final game number 2.
Inventory is full.
So as we're here in between semifinal contests, it was Dano with a 70, the highest score in the history of roof ball. Man, how'd you do it?
I think Ron actually said it best. The semifinal game halfway through, I went looked for inspiration in my favorite movies, Stallone Over the Top. Flip the hat around, decide I'm going over the top, and just kind of harness my inner Italian stallion, and just went with it. So.
Dano also knows that I do have money on him on this game in this prediction, and that I have $13.74 for the odds of 15-1 for him to win. So
15-1?
Yes, they were, because the last couple tournaments you kind of
understandable, but
yeah,
that works.
So being those are the odds, he is getting a cut.
So we're going to head to game number 2 of the semifinal round. Michael will lead things off, and he starts off with a ping. Oh, that hits off the roof of the car, though. Michael rather had a really solid effort in the previous round, as he was the first one to advance here.
What do you think of Adam's chances there?
You can never discount the founder of roof ball out of any tournament that he's participated in. So
it's like when the commissioner of the Fantasy Football League changes the rules at the end so he can win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly like that. However, Michael A-Round, he had an absolute heck of a game last round, and you can never discount the rookies coming out of here. Steve Hershey coming out of nowhere. Rookies do really well in this tournament, so really it's up for grabs for any of these 3 competitors.
So Adam in the lead right now, trying to add to it with the nice ping and the catch. Yes, he does. So Adam keeps going.
Staying solid,
So Dano, which one of these competitors do you fear the most at this tournament?
Tough question. Really, it's whoever's going to be the
streakiest and the hottest coming out this round. So coming into it, I was thinking it'd be Michael. Looks like that he is having a little bit of a slow start here.
I need to pay attention more often.
A little bit, yeah.
Did Steve get a ping on that last one?
We'll have to ask him when he comes up here in just a second. Here's Adam. Steve gets a 0 there. Hey, Steve, what'd you get last time?
Catch.
Just a catch. So Steve then has 2 points.
Not only do I pay attention well, I can.
1 plus
Oh,
1
goes
usually is 2.
around. Oh, just misses the catch
Oh.
multiplier and misses the catch.
He needed that, though. Definitely needed the
Still
round.
10
Mike
solid
goes
points
up
for
to
him, though.
16. And for his throw, steps up. Solid ping. Solid catch.
Nice catch.
Sticking with the consistency.
So I gotta ask you guys, what's your assessment of the tournament going on? I mean, how do you feel? And who do you like in the chances?
Low so far, -3 points.
Well, Dano, it's kind of hard to go against your performance last time where you had 70. I would.
I peak early. Ask my wife.
So an over and then an over. I don't know if the ball being thrown over was a
but,
distraction.
You know, you gotta roll with it though.
Adam wanted to make sure that he increased, or actually that was Steve on the other side there.
Adam staying consistent with the ping and a catch. He's 30 points.
Pinged and caught every time. So Steve really needs to get himself back into this thing. He can somehow manage to get a multiplier here. But again, that's a tall task to ask. You said it only happened, what, 4 times?
Yep, 4 times I've seen it happen.
And he throws it over,
throws
now down to
another over.
-8.
He is actually now challenging some of the lowest scores we've ever had in Red Bull.
Nice ping. And the catch. And I believe one of those lowest scores of all time was yours?
Absolutely. He's -2 points away from the 3rd lowest score, which was mine. I would appreciate if he'd thrown over a few more times and knocked me down another notch.
That was your first tournament that you got that score, wasn't it, Rob?
Yes, it was.
See, that's the thing with rookies in here. They kind of float on both sides of the spectrum. You know, they can either come in out of nowhere to take it all or set some dubious records. So I don't know if it's a chance that, you know, they just can't handle the pressure. They don't have the experience of you know, just kind of handling what's going on. But
I just like to shatter records in every direction. I'm proud of what I do.
yeah, that's
Dan,
good.
you have the most titles of all time with 5.
Correct.
So
Hey there.
are you going to add to that title with 6 tonight? Talk a little trash for us. You know, put some Baltimore board material up there.
Well, you know, I would definitely like to get one for the second thumb, or actually probably 3 for both middle fingers, so to speak. But yeah, we'll just you know, we'll see what's going on. And my trash talking days are a little bit behind me. I'm not as good at getting inside the competitors' heads as I once was. Would just like to have my play or my trash talk be on the field.
Practice makes perfect, Dan.
Yeah.
So Casey could have tied you with his 5th championship. That's obviously not going to happen now. Although he did have a pretty high score, 42 in that first semifinal. Adam with the ping. He stays consistent, 42. And Steve desperately needed that ping right there.
He did. Get some to -1.
Steve is still in the red though.
And in a round. That was actually
That's a
Michael
round.
round. So now 28 for Michael. He still has 2 throws left and is trying to threaten the 49 of Matt to try and move on as the wild card. Adam with another ping.
Adam's turning it on. He's looking good here.
Now, Dano, do you know what the previous record score
after
was?
No idea. I know that Adam and Casey Campbell are both members of the 70-point club, so I'm assuming it's somewhere up in that era.
Inventory is full.
I'm assuming that Adam has the highest score. I figured he'd be a lot more upset with me if I did break the record today.
So 29 for Michael. Here's Adam trying not to screw up. Another ping.
Ping again.
He's turning it on at the right time here. He's definitely looking hot going into the final round here.
And the throw over for Steve. He's
I
at
believe that
-5.
was a ping over, actually.
Was it a
Just
ping
hit
over?
the back side of the pole.
Michael's last throw. He gets the ping off the
Saves
car, but
it
he
on
saves it.
catch.
Valiant last effort by Michael Rounds, but it looks like it's a little too late for him.
34, and he will not
Most
advance.
consistent player today, and even 60. Ping and the catch.
He's got
That's
it.
about as consistent a round as you're ever going to see in roof ball.
10 for
Is that
10 with the
10
perfect
straight pings? Wow.
ping, 10 straight pings, 10 straight catches, 60 points.
Wow.
total. That is how you play roof ball.
That it is.
It's
Dano
not
and
a
Adam
70,
advance.
but it's fantastic.
And I don't think there's a 49 point, a way you can get 49 points on one throw. So it's pretty safe to say that Matt will advance.
If you hit go around it twice, go around the other chimney, hit the catch multiplier, hit the other chimney.
Actually,
on the
if you
next
knock
house.
the
Catch
top of it
behind
off,
your back.
it's not going to do it.
Steve.
Is he going to finish in the positive? Yes.
Yeah.
1.
Finishes with a point.
So that's going to do it here for the semifinal round. And as we look ahead to the trophy round, it will be Dano, who had 70, Adam, who had 60, and then Matt advances as a wild card. He had 49 points.
Thanks for letting me sit in on this round. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys. Good luck in the finals.
Thank you much. I'll win some money for you.
Please do.
Hey, we'll do.
I'll cut you in.
And we are here for the trophy round of the 2008 Roofball World Championships. We have Dano, who scored 70 in the semifinal round, Adam with a 60, and Matt Azar had a 49. Those are the 3 highest totals to advance to the championship round here in the history of Roofball.
Yeah, this is some fantastic play in the last couple rounds we had here. Dano throwing up that huge 70, Adam with the insanely consistent ping and a catch for every single inning that he went into, and Matt's the wild card, and that kind of suits him. He's been able to kind of squeak by in these last couple tournaments as well, and get himself in some good positions. So we'll see what happens.
So are you going to continue with your prediction of Dano and try to win the money?
I absolutely am. Dano, I think, has stepped into it. He's starting to taste that championship again. He can. He's already established himself as quite a legend in roofball, and I think he wants to almost surpass that and really stamp it down there for
See you later.
All right, well, I guess we are ready to go here. So Dano, so we get the official rule in there is Dano with a 6 on his first throw. So here's Adam, the defending champ, and comes away with nothing.
For the Alliance.
Yes, sir. So Matt is playing in his 3rd Roofball Championship. He finished 3rd in the 2007 RFA Cup, which was his first event.
Greetings.
As he picks up the 1. He was the semifinalist at the 2007 Open, but has not won a championship. And that's going to fall just short of a ping. So Dano, who's looking for his record 6th title, now has 7 points through 2.
Go with honor, friend.
So Adam comes away with nothing after having
King's honor, friend.
10 straight pings.
Y'all have seen in sports.
Be careful.
Much like the Blazers this year, they go on their 13-game winning streak, and then once they get that first loss, we will see if that's what happens to Mr. Willis.
Good day to you.
And a nice catch there by Dano. So the 2 highest scores in this round will advance to the championship.
Now, can Adam get himself on the board? He does, but only with 5.
Now, is it
awkward on that catch attempt?
Yeah, he did.
Safe
Now, the
travel.
question I have is, if you throw it hard enough up there and you wedge it in between the house and the post, does that count as anything?
It counts as you need to find some way to get up there and take the ball down so you can continue playing.
Yes. Dano looking to make the catch and salvage a point out of this. and he does.
Interesting.
So Dano with 14, Adam with 5, and Matt with 8. And it doesn't really matter who finishes 1 or 2 as long as you finish in one of those spots.
Oh, it's the edge of the roof. It's a point for the catch. Adam's up to 6.
Can I help you?
Matt tossed it and ping, yeah.
Oh, -1 for that. Total of 4. He's up to 12.
Dano in first place. No, that's not going to quite do it.
Big conservatively right now.
Adam needs a big play here. And he does not quite get it. Does he? Yes.
Catch multiplier. Can he catch it for the 5 points? That is 5.
So Adam needed something big there.
He got something mediocre, but it helps. Oh!
All that hit was house. That did not. That was not a ping. So Matt with 13 remaining in second place as we are midway through
Halfway
the trophy round.
Dano at 15, Adam at 11, Matt at 13. Dano gets the catch. Up to 21.
Adam 10 points off the lead. Currently 2 points out of the spot in the championship. He pings it with the catch and a 6. He's certainly pleased with his effort there. Did that graze it or no?
No. Close, but no cigar.
So Matt remaining in third place, but just by 3 points. Just 7 points separate 1 from 3 here.
And nice solid ping. Oh,
Can't
good
come
effort,
up with the
but
grab.
Can't quite pick it up. It's up to 26. Adam needs some big throws. Oh, he almost gets it.
That almost went over the roof, too.
Goes for a 1.
So Adam very fortunate right there to come away with a point instead of the -5.
That is all over the place right now.
Including all over the roof and the hood of the car.
Good effort, good effort. Gets up to 15. He's still within contention of the championship round.
Dano trying to get some separation there and secure a spot.
Solid catch.
Here's Adam. Adam needs another big play, try and get some breathing room. Nice ping there as he nearly knocked the house over.
To 24.
And Matt really needed that ping and catch right there as he comes away with the 6 to keep himself in. Only 3 points down, but there are only 2 throws left for each player.
Dano stay in this.
Another solid ping. And the
Good
catch.
effort, good catch, good slide.
You know, there's sometimes when you need a
style
slide.
points.
That would definitely add to it. There's sometimes when you need a slide, and there's sometimes where you do it just for show. He needed to slide there, and that was a nice play. Adam taking his time.
Slider and dive.
Needs to play that play. He could have caught the ball. Instead, he tries to knock it away.
Comes
And
away with nothing. He really needed a point on that. That could have
That
come back
he did.
to haunt him. With effort.
that was in a round for sure, and a catch and 11 points.
He's now up to 32. Adam Willis really needed to hit that, but he didn't.
I just took him
Coming in
down,
the last
buddy.
round.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
gets
solid
the
ping right there on the hitting
Gets
the
the
base
catch.
of it.
Up to 44.
And I think Dano has secured himself a spot. Adam Willis needs and
play.
can he do it? No!
Oh! Was it a backside? No?
He finishes with 25, and this thing's pretty much over. He doesn't even need to make the catch. He can just throw it up.
Oh,
But he
he's
catches
doing
it
it
anyway, so
closer.
33. So advancing to the championship round, Dano with 44, and Matt Azar, who finished with 33. So we will head to the championship next.
I buy and trade.
And we are here for the championship round. It all comes down to this. We have Dano and Matt
Farewell.
Azar. And before we find out who wins, we got to find out who goes first. So let's head to Adam Willis for the coin toss.
All right, thanks, guys. We are going to talk to our 2 contenders first in an exclusive interview here at RFA headquarters. First off, the challenger, the 2 seed, and last year's 3rd place finisher in his first term in the RFA Cup, Matt Azar. Come on in. Welcome. This is your first fight. Wait, stand right over here for me. This is your first ever finals. What are your thoughts right now?
Kind of nervous. Never been here before, so Dano's a fierce competitor. He's put up big scores today, so I don't know what to expect really.
It is Dan O'Reilly. He's won this thing 5 times. He's never finished second. How do you assess your chances right now?
You know, I watched Dano play when I was growing up, and he's been my lifelong idol, and it's kind of like I'm beside myself that I'm even here. So I just hope that I can make some pings, make some catches, and we'll see what happens. You know.
Put up 49 a couple of rounds ago, and you put a bunch of 50s in your first tournament. To what do you attribute your high scoring?
I drink Red Bull energy drinks, and it gives me wings. It's true.
I think we just got our first sponsorship. Thank you, Matt. Go ahead and stand back over there. And now our 5-time Roof Ball champion, Dan O'Reilly, ladies and gentlemen. And you already got one for the thumb. Where will this one go if you win it?
I'm going to put 3 on each middle finger.
You've never played Azar head-to-head. This is going to be your first time. It's a little bit of a wild card. Does that change your strategy at all? Change the way you think about the tournament?
Well, I was just informed in the previous interview that I've never placed in second place, and so I think I'm going to dedicate this round to Ruben Shutt, who currently can't be here with us.
Do you have any special messages for Ruben right now?
You just jinxed me. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
All right, so there we go. We're going to bring Matt back in here and have the coin toss.
How are you?
Dano as the 1 seed. You will be calling the toss in the air, and then the winner of the toss will pick whether they want to throw first or second. This here is heads. The root ball emblem is heads, and the lovely picture of RFA headquarters is tails. So again, Dano, if you will call it in the air.
Heads.
And it is tails. Mr. Azar, you like to throw first or second?
Second, please.
All right, so we're all set. Dan O'Reilly, Matt Azar for the 2008 Roofball World Championship.
See you around.
We are here for the championship round of the 2008 Roofball World Championships. I'm Travis Demers. I'm here with Rob. I forgot your last name. Solisky. Thank you very much. And of course, Adam Willis on the other side. Yeah,
We work well together.
Willis isn't that hard to remember. So we have Dano and Matt Azar in our championship round. Now, I want to get your prediction first, Rob. What do you see happening here?
You know, I predicted Dano. I stuck with him from the beginning. I'm going to stick with him from the end. He's been doing great today. He's a seasoned champion. Matt tends to get a little nervous, but he still throws up some decent numbers. I'm going with Dano.
And Adam.
Well, I have a long and storied history now of picking the wrong winner, so I'm going to try to stick with that and pick Matt Azar. You know, he's hot. I just see something about the kid. He's plucky. I think he's going to get it done. So let's do it.
I think that's the first time in the history of Roofball that the word plucky has been used to describe any of the competitors.
Oh,
so
just a one for Dano right there.
Might be the first in the history of the world that plucky has been used, actually.
Yes. So we've already gotten underway here. We are started, and it is a 1 for Dano, and Matt comes away with a 1 as well.
You see those low-scoring finals a lot. I think you get a little stress and a little arm tiredness at this point.
Dano's second attempt here at the championship. He goes around, gets the multiplier. Can he make the catch? No.
It's 10, though.
Something fell off the roof on that. I don't know what it was.
I just heard a jingling of some kind. That was almost a huge shot for Dano.
So we ignore it and play on.
And Azar is going to throw it almost over the roof. Wow. He got lucky there. Makes the catch.
Someone is looking for that. His next throw.
Yeah, this, I think I made the wrong pick. Long way to go, though. Long way to go.
Nice ping there from Matt. So Dano with the 17-3 lead, 17-8 lead rather, after 3.
The one thing about Azar is he doesn't get discouraged from being down. He will keep playing hard.
That is a ping and a catch.
But if Dano keeps doing what he's doing, there we go.
So he pulls back to within 9 points. Yes.
Greetings.
Ping.
He's got it working. Ever since that 70, that game really did something.
29 through 5 points. He's trying to go for the
Very good.
back around. Doesn't get it. And comes away with nothing.
He's in the end. And right now.
Midway through, Dano with 29 and Matt with 14.
Big chance for Dano to really kind of slam the door shut right here.
Yeah, within and around here, he can pretty much close it out. He does get a ping, though.
You got it.
Gets the ping, gets the catch. And the way the crowd is reacting, it seems like nobody cares.
I would definitely second that.
Oh, not done. Azar is not done. Needs O'Reilly to just slip up one time.
It is a 15-point lead, 35-20 here for Dano.
He focuses. The top look.
Oh.
Over the top play. Backside ping and catch.
Now here's where O'Reilly's coming up back to crazy.
He really needs in and around right here. Looks like it's a solid ping.
41-26.
That was about as square of a ping as you're going to see. That thing just bounced right off and had a knuckle.
Just notified that it's 41-26. Will he sit back and ride? Play like a man.
What can I do for you?
Wow.
Catch him like a man.
Got a mark in every
Scoring.
inning since the first.
Like a man.
Down by 21. Here's Matt. Needs to get in around. Instead, it's a ping. Nice save. Very nice save.
This is a very respectable score, but I don't think Dano is going to lose her respectability this time.
Now, Matt really needs to hope that Dano throws the ball a couple times here.
Dano getting angry with the
Need one of those people that have golf tournaments with a flying.
Oh, I thought that was going to be around for a second.
This is a big time.
Does he get it?
He does! Talk about a clutch play there for Matt Azar with the 11.
It's what? He's 12. He's 42.
42, yeah. This is it.
last throws.
And he
Got
just
it.
did
Just
ping it.
nudged it. What a
Gets
huge
the
number.
catch.
Puts him at 54. Azar's got to get a 15 to win it now.
Or he can get a 12 to tie it. He can get a no. That's just an 11. He's got to get a 15. There's no 12 here.
Light
Last
be
throw.
with you. Be careful.
Good day to you.
Oh, I think this is going to be a 1.
I think that's in a round. I'll give that.
Dan O'Reilly is your 2008 Roof Ball World Champion. Woo! Come over. Azar, come over here. Come over here. Dano, get over here too. Tell the world your thoughts here on number 6.
Ruben, I tried to get in second place for you, but I'm just too good. Sorry.
Matty, you put up a 43 and lost by 11. What do you? How do you?
You know,
recover
it's,
from that?
I was right to idolize Dano, and you know he's the best. That's all there is to say. So.
Dano, this is 6. You can't dedicate to Ruben because you didn't finish second. Who is this dedicated to?
Cobra Kai Dojo. He's the best around. Nothing's ever gonna take him down. I don't know.
All right, so let's wrap this bad boy up. Dano 54, Dano 44, Dano 70.
Wow.
What are you doing? Where did this come from?
Just thankful to be here. You know, I mean, I squeaked into the semifinals
See you
with
later.
the second wild card spot, and you know, just can't. Got the opportunity, got to take it. You know.
All right. Well, we're about to set up for the award ceremony. That's going to wrap it up from the desk. Travis, Rob, any final thoughts?
Sorry, my mic back first of all. I'll go start with Travis. What do you think?
So this is your first experience,
time
man.
around.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
It was more intense than I was expecting. There was some
Greetings.
heat going on there between some of the competitors, and I was actually fearful
Light
for my
bless
life.
you. Well met.
Well, that's it for the 2008 Roof Ball World Championships.
So the Alliance.
We'll now head to the trophy presentation.
All right, it's time for the award ceremony for the 2008 Roof Ball World Championships. As is our custom, we're going to start with the semifinals. It's been a while since he's been here, but we were excited to have him back and excited to have him back in contention. Had a really good second round score. Let's bring him up here. Michael A. Rounds, the best roof ball name around. Oh, the capacity crowd loves it. Would you stand right over here, sir? Congratulations. Your thoughts?
Not many. I wish I would have gone further.
Well, this is the first time you've been back in the awards for a while. What does that mean to you, being back up among the elite?
A lot, I thought. No, it's great. I haven't had a medal in quite some time.
All right, well, congratulations. And if you go over and talk to Beth. Thank you very much. Our second semifinalist, as always seems to happen, we had a rookie do very well, stormed through the first couple of rounds, then kind of petered out at the semis. We can get Steve Hersher to come on up here. There's always a rookie in the mix, and this tournament, it was Steve. Steve, congratulations, your trophy is on its way. And you know, you were a rookie. I know this is your first time here, but what do you attribute rookies being able to do so well? Why were you not flummoxed by the goings on?
Pure luck. Pure luck.
Well, then here's the result of that luck.
It was the banquet beer. Coors Light, baby!
Is that what you attribute the victory to?
Pretty much.
What if you just pose for a picture over here, shake my hand? Congratulations. Steve Hersher, ladies and gentlemen, semifinalist. And our third and final semifinalist, a man who I expected to storm back to the ranks and win his 5th championship in tap down. It didn't quite work out that way, but he came up here from Corvallis. You got to respect that. Casey Campbell, our 3rd semifinalist. There he is, doing the slow walk. Casey, close, not quite there. Your thoughts?
Good competition. I'm getting kind of old. I think it's about time to hint at retirement, and we'll see if I'm coming back. And I gotta learn these young folk out here. Do it.
All right. Well, if I can grab a trophy for Casey here. Thank you, Mr. Round. Casey, here's your award. If you point at camera number 8 over there for, there we go, happy times. We love Casey. Casey Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. It's not widely known. I think we talked about it a little bit during the play-by-play, but this contender this year just returned from South America. We didn't know if we were going to get her back. She's played in 2 football tournaments. She's won the women's title both times. We can get Elise Dodson to come on up. And if we get her trinket also. Congratulations.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome back. All right, 2 for 2. You've had 2 of the highest scores by a woman in the history of the game. How do you do it? What's different between you and some of the other women who've competed?
You know, I don't know. There was a lot of pressure after the last games. We had to leave the country for a few months and return. But I think coming back strong, and next year I'm working for, I got to get past the second round.
All right, now we've heard there have been some reports that you guys came back from South America specifically for roof ball. Is that accurate?
Oh, of course. Of course. We had to come back. We had a week to kind of relax in the States, but, it was all preparing for roof ball.
Well, glad to have you back. We got to pose for a picture here, Mr. Severs. Right over there. Elise Dodson, 2008 Women's Roof Ball Champion. Thank you very much. And at this time, I would like to turn the microphone over to my sister who will continue the award ceremony.
Thank you. So there's only one reason that I'm actually seeing during the trophy presentation, and that's if the founder of Roof Ball, the man who invented the game, the myth, the legend, wins a trophy. And that man is my brother. That man is, in fact, the founder of Roof Ball, and that man won 3rd place today. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Willis.
You have a great day now.
Well done, Adam. Adam, now, you finished just away. You're always almost there. How do you feel about it?
Well, I did win the championship last year, so I felt this time I just wanted to have a good outing and not embarrass myself. In the U.S. Open last year, I didn't get out of the first round. Once I did that, everything else was butter, and I'm very happy to take home this small crystal globe.
Crystal globe is quite attractive. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much. You got to pose for a picture.
Adam Willis.
Put this back. Wow, that Adam Willis is a card, isn't he, everybody? All right, our runner-up. He keeps moving up the ladder. He finished 3rd in his first tournament. Got a semi last year at the U.S. Open. This year, challenged Dan O'Reilly, who had one of the best performances in roof ball history today. Came up just short, but got himself a 2nd place. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up, Matt Azar. Congratulations. This is your small world. It is a small world. All right, you're moving on up, 2nd place. Your thoughts about finishing runner-up?
I was excited making it into the final round there, and Dano had been just on fire in the last couple rounds, so I knew it was gonna be tough. Last couple of frames, I made a nice round. I thought I might have a chance, but he closed me out. So I gotta give props to Dano. Maybe next time show him up and take home the championship trophy, which is a little bit bigger than this one apparently.
Well, Ruben Chug was the runner-up in all 3 tournaments last year. You're the first person since 2006, other than Ruben, to finish runner-up. How do you think the tournament might have been different if you'd been here?
Boy, first of all, I don't want to be the next Ruben Chug because I'd like to. Apparently, no one does. Ruben's great. He's a legend in his own right, but I don't know. It's hard to say. You never know on any given day, as they say.
Any given Sunday, in fact.
Any given Sunday, and I would like to thank the Academy, and tonight I will be walking the red carpet. You can watch live, and it'll be great.
Who are you wearing tonight?
I am. what she said. Michigan or something, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. I have so many designers. I lose track of all their names. But yeah. So.
Well, congratulations. Let's pose for the ceremonial photograph. All right, we're good. You can just stand right over there.